guys are so focused on trying to get the case dismissed that you're missing out on the disqualification of the actors in the case.
They don't give the notice is because they would have to pay the tax, and they're trying to hide that obligation.
This is tax evasion, as the people in the MERS investigation kept saying. That's tax evasion.
I done blasted like 12 of them off the bench.
Do you hear that? I knew before yesterday he was up to 11. So now we're at 12. What? 12 blasted off the bench. Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone to today's call. I'm your host, Malika, here as usual every Tuesday and Thursday for Bible study. So today I'm going to be co-hosting with our admin, McReal.
What's up, bitches?
That's your intro stuff, bitches.
What's up? What's up? Before.
I'm glad you're here, Charles, to be with us. So one of the reasons, besides the fact that, of course, you get on here together as much as we can, that Charles is going to be speaking today is, again, right along in line with what we've been going over the last few times that we've been together. So we're probably going to have to go back and find like the one from, the first week in December, I think is when we started talking about this, so that we can group it together, because it's high time that we get rid of the question that people have about where to start. That's where everybody questions, especially if you don't already have an issue, or even if you do have an issue. It's always like, where do I start with this? Where do I begin to comprehend what is going on so that I can know what I can do to help myself and to protect myself? That's the question everybody is asking, right? When they come into this information. And unfortunately, sometimes our first interaction is a claim of some sort against us, typically by the state itself or a corporation organized under the laws of the state. And
only pretending to be the state.
Right. Everybody's pretending to be the state, right? So so far we have connected the dots that where you start from is knowing who the government and the agents that are part of the corporations organized under the laws of the government, who can they talk to? For some reason, because our ancestors, if you will, living and passed on, go along with whatever is presented to them. When they're told to go here, they go. When they're told to go there, they go. When they're told to come to jail, they also show up and give their bodies. Okay?
Yes, master. Yes, master. I sure will.
They tell you to jump and people say, how high? It's ridiculous, because that's the first thing, right? Knowing what the game is and who we are in relation to the game. Yes, someone said the get along gang. That's what everybody is doing. They're going along to get along. So you need people that are glitches in the system, like all of us that are on here today, in order to shake that out of people's minds, or even if it's not shaken out of other people's minds, at least get it out of your own heart and mind. So for the last installments, we started with the Constitution. And why do we start with the Constitution? Because, of course, that's the primary document. Of course, there are documents superior to the Constitution, like the Bible and like the Declaration of Independence and things like that. But it gets down to the nitty gritty when you get to the Constitution, because from the Constitution, you have all the states of the Union's Constitution, and their rules say that they cannot make rules that are inconsistent with that primary constitutional document. So that's what has led us here to where we are today. I know on Tuesday, everybody was getting their charters for the city and or county, and if not the charters in PDF, going to the statutes where they've codified the alleged charters or where the charter is supposed to be. And then you start to connect the dots. The federal government can only make rules for the federal government. The state governments have to only make rules for the state governments because they cannot make laws inconsistent with the federal. And if they try to make laws that touch private lives, that would absolutely be a law or laws inconsistent with the federal constitution. So the simple fact that most people are accosted by court paperwork, court invitations primarily, is is why we focus on strategy, like the attorney has no authority, with our motions to show authority or our notices to show authority. I got a funny
Well,
story, which is
I'm
why
so
I was
scared.
4
I'm
minutes
so
late
scared
today.
though. I'm so
Say that
scared
again.
when I see the letter.
Say that again, Charles.
I said, but I'm so scared when I see the letter come in the mail.
He's
Yes,
trembling.
a lot of people are scared. Charles is making fun of us because some of us are still scared because Charles be running to his mailbox so he could kick somebody else's ass.
Name Charles, homie the clown in your post.
He will,
Yeah, 'cause
yes,
homie don't play that shit.
he will bop you with that sock with a brick.
Right.
So one of the techniques that works just as well, if not better, because we understand now that the perpetrators against us are the people in the courthouse. Does everybody realize that? The people in the courthouse.
Yes,
Non-government.
like the raggedy judge.
Yes, exactly. Like the raggedy judge.
That's called contradiction because their diction is contrary to what you're supposed to be, and it is the opposition because they want to pose you in taxidermy as a thing. They want to move you around.
Not only that, Bobby, you are so correct. Their ministry is also indifferent against us.
Sure, you can say the religious state. Yeah.
But they're
They
non-government.
cock blocking.
So I got some good news to show you. Good news to go over with you guys. So don't let us hang up before I show you what transpired today with one of our friends-in-law. I don't know if Megan is on, but here we're gonna start with we're gonna start with Charles's note. And the reason this is important, like I said, is that the agents in the courthouse are actually who is perpetrating this fraud against us. They are not innocent. The clerk is not innocent. The attorney bringing the claim is not innocent. The judge is not innocent. And this is about disqualifying the judge.
Quasi.
Disqualifying the judge, totally ripping the rug out from under them. And I'm gonna let Charles explain why or how. So this was his post that I just copied and pasted. It was from in Friends-in-Law from at least a year, if not a year and a half ago. I told you I was gonna take this stuff out, Charles, but I didn't. I left them all in.
Not time.
That first goes to taxeme, Taxeme, and most people say tax me, ax me once, ax me twice. That's how the word's pronounced, and it goes to tactics. These are the taxes they use to tax your being right here. What he's about ready to do.
Yeah, with their non-governmental ass.
Right. So Charles, tell us about the first time you disqualified a judge.
I've done it a few ways, but this is the main one. So I'll just say how I did it the first time, which was the 3949A and the 140, the 14039 IRS forms, 211, and I even did a 1099 at that time.
Well, don't tell us about that part. Tell us about when you got the 28 USC 455.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, the information I put on those IRS forms were basically what you see here. So I can't see, go back up to 455.
It's right here.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and read it all, but
I can read it. I'll read it. So 450, the reason why we're using 455, even though there are probably other parts of the code that I saw other people post in the similar section. 455 specifically is called disqualification of justice, judge, or magistrate judge. So that lets you know that it's any of them in any state. They can't tell you, well, federal codes don't apply here because this says any justice, which obviously is state level. Okay,
It'd be
so it's
basically like a
all of them.
judicial notice is, it's more like what it boils down to be. For a title, if you wanted to, you can look up your state for judicial notice, right? That's the only thing that's really different.
So
I mean,
you
it's
call
not
it a judicial notice.
Yeah, it's not a must,
Go ahead, Charles.
and it's not a motion. I mean, we're not.
It is a motion. You're not putting it on the record? Okay, y'all heard that? It's a notice. It's a private notice.
Yeah, right up my alley. It's right
So
up my alley.
would you
Because-
name it ex parte or no?
No, you listen, because simply the fact that no, damn, where's I going with that? The fact that you're calling them out on the fiduciary, and it's a person, they don't want it to necessarily be on the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you go on the record, then you are
They
talking
can roll over it,
specifically
too.
about. Did you hear me?
So let me say this. So to combat my disqualification, sometimes or once or twice they put it on the record, right? And then the judge would just simply rule over it or keep on going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes,
So if
because
you're putting to me, so let me say this. So if you're putting a motion to me on the record, you're playing their game and it's their rules, right? Does that make sense?
Not necessarily. A motion has a purpose. And it's not necessarily to say, oh, we're playing by their rules. They didn't invent motion practice.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just like you're stipulating to the fucking bullshit in the first place, right?
Some people say that, but like I said, motions have their place, just like notices have their place.
And don't get me wrong, like I was gonna say, I've done the motion, but it's real fucking simple, and it's basically telling them, "Fuck you, I'm not coming in to, play your game to be, goddamn, what's the term I need? Liable for your bullshit, basically, in short."
Okay, so let Charles explain why you attack the fiduciary relationship.
Okay, so the account has to go through the judge. To me,
When he says the account, he's talking about the case number. When he says account, he's talking about the case number.
so we can say if they're gonna open an account, then we can say it's insured, right? 250K for any other bank, right? So there's that, and let's see what we have. So in order to initiate the case, the judge must get written consent from you, right? Or
Did
some
you
kind
guys
of
hear
consent
that?
from you.
Did you guys hear that?
Absolutely.
I hope everybody heard that.
But Charles, have they tried to?
I don't get that. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
What did I miss? You just asked, did I hear that? Pardon me.
Yeah, what was missed?
No, I
He
just asked
said the
You must
judge
have consent.
needs your consent
Islam,
to
I agree.
put your name on the case.
right.
Islam.
So what they're doing is, and they're not getting it from you, and they're not getting authority from the treasury, right? Or the secretary, whatever you want to call it. So what they're doing is tricking you to come in there and give consent by your actions, right? I know you heard that before.
Well,
Right.
just on Tuesday, we had a young lady share that when she asked while she was in court, how the court has jurisdiction over her, the response from the judge just the other
You're
day
here.
was because you here.
Exactly.
volunteered servitude, volunteered consent, contract
Exactly.
makes the law.
So we scared the
Your
shit out of
conduct.
ourselves going, I have to go. I have to go.
Yes.
And they're going, oh my God, please let them come. Please, please.
So you're basically consenting to, that the shit's even real in the first place. We know it's quasi, right?
So did you hear what he said? He said conduct, behavior, and mannerisms of
Right.
implied consent can make the contract.
Yep. Yep. So okay, so there's that, right? So they need you, come in and pretend like you're the fiduciary. Is basically what they're doing. but they're really acting like the fiduciary. That's why they called you to come in. But at the same time, you're like, how the fuck did you get my information or the authority to administrate my person, right? So you go in and then they flip it right back onto you, right? That's why you got to pay the tax. And then they get the back end, scot free.
So let's read about this fiduciary relationship real quick. So this is basically saying this is the USC version. This is the CFR version. Okay, same thing as you guys see, same name of the section, notice of fiduciary relationship. So the rights and obligations of fiduciary. In this particular example that we're talking about today, the judge is who's acting as a fiduciary. The judge and his clerks.
Right.
Okay.
As
So it says
always,
where it says
Open the
here.
account in your
Hold on,
name.
guys. Hold on. Let me read this section so people can understand.
Right.
Upon notice to the secretary. This, who knows? Don't people like Hassan and Charles answer. But who is the secretary of Title 26?
It's only talking about one thing.
I know that.
IRS.
But who? Come on, where is the IRS?
Treasury.
Department of Treasury.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who is the secretary?
What's his name?
The Secretary of the Treasury. Thank you. Just so
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
is aware.
Dr. Jeanette Yellen.
Oh, there you go. Been the Secretary of Treasury for 30 years. Do you think she knows what's going on? Do you
Yes,
think she knows what's
definitely.
going on?
Definitely.
And if,
Okay.
Right, man.
and there's
Okay.
no,
So upon notice to the secretary that any person is acting for another person in fiduciary capacity, such fiduciary shall assume the powers, rights, duties, and privileges of such other person in respect of a tax imposed
stop
by
right there.
this title.
You can stop right there. A tax.
A
tax and money.
tax.
NUMMI. You have to be classified to suited to be taxed. So you have to be like kind. You have to be pre-qualified, predetermined to be like kind to be taxed.
So the reason that they don't give the notice is because they would have to pay the tax, and they're trying to hide that obligation.
This is
Uh-huh.
tax evasion, as the people in the MERS investigation kept saying. That's tax evasion.
Yeah, there's no coincidence why Janet Yellen is her name. If you look up Janet and if you look up Yellen, it'll go to Yell and it'll go to yellow. So those are two things you might want to go look up to help understand this paragraph.
Okay. So now we know it's a tax. Now we know what they're avoiding. Now we know, and you should know that they open the account for you, right? They call you in, so they're acting for you right now.
Literally, I asked Charles this when we were discussing this call today. Them putting your name on their case, even as a defendant,
Identities.
is identity theft.
Yep, violation of trademark laws.
Hey,
They're not government, right?
say that again,
So-
Charles.
I said because they're not government, right?
Not just
Right.
that they're not government, even
Yeah,
if
it
they
doesn't
were
matter if
government.
They're not
Even
the
if they were
originator.
government, if they want to
No.
touch the private life of a man, they
Right.
because we're not slaves, they absolutely need consent. This is about that consent to be sued. If you're an
Yeah.
agent of the state, you're a member of the corporation, you have given that consent through application and acceptance of that position.
Yes, the ways has to have consent, your voluntary servitude for him to touch you. If he touches you against your consent, that is forced slavery and knows he can't do that. Temptation is his only tool.
Right.
Let me say this. Back up to where we at? Back up to upon notice to the secretary, right?
Okay.
So this is the fucking due process right here.
Process,
the-
guys. Due process. That's the name of the game.
So everybody goes down the line and they're like, oh, he didn't mail it. You know how they do, right? He didn't mail it right. He didn't do this right. That shit's all happening. So that's the due process right now, immediately, just to initiate the case, right?
You see where it says right here, when you get down to the CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations, it repeats This is the rights and obligations, the obligation of the fiduciary. Remember, the judge is acting in that position right here. Every person acting for another person. For the clerk to put your name on that paper, they are acting for the other person.
Yeah,
In a fiduciary capacity, shall give notice thereof to the district director in writing. This is where it goes to those records requests that we tell everyone, this is where you have to start, because in order for them to communicate with us, they have to have express, meaning in writing, consent. You guys are looking at this with your own eyes. It says right here, they shall give notice thereof. They tell you who it's supposed to go to. So now you know, if that district director, whoever they are, does not have the documentary evidence, they didn't do this. They're
This is what-
participating in tax evasion,
Let
identity
me say
theft.
this. Not to cut you off, but let me say this. If shit ain't really quite working out how you want to, and this is what I came up with later. So this is what you're asking for, to the judge. If he wants to keep on fucking trying to steamroll, then you ask him for that notice, proof that he did do the due process, right? Which we know he didn't.
We just suspect he didn't, Charles. We don't know.
We know he didn't.
Okay, if Malika's got a problem with me and she don't send me a correspondence, so we try to work it out in private, and she goes to the court and asks them to help her through artificial legal powers to send me something to induce me to come into court. Okay, she volunteered that position. She's already got contract with them. She
Illegal.
asked, she don't have sound of mind to be in the reality and handle her own affairs. So she's becoming, they attach her to a minor ward of state, a firm number, to a deceit of will, because they got her will's not fully cognized. So they got to add their will to it. And the only way they can add their will to it is to assign her a number deceit of will that directly matches all the things that she's done in her past. Oh, this is you. Okay, so we're going to do dead works today. We're going to offer Bobby some dead works, and we're going to try to induce him in there and check his sound of mind. So they're going to send me a summons.
Well,
I'm
I'm gonna disagree a little bit with Bobby, because the only reason I would sue Bobby, right, is if Bobby actually injured me.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
if Bobby actually injured me, that the due process is done by me, the injured party,
Sure.
naming him
sure.
as the aggressor. Okay, so if it's a man and a man on both sides, and we're just using the courthouse, right? Even if they do make a number and all that, Bobby waives. Okay, it is due process when there is an actual injury. So if Bobby actually injured me, that's going to be different from what's usually going on, where the state or the county or the city or some other fictitious entity, artificial entity, is the only name as the plaintiff.
Right.
But
You heard my job
remember we talked about the possible marriage being another one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Or divorce, I'm sorry.
Right, the divorce. It's okay. But then again, you also have to consider that if it's a marriage that was created under the laws of the state, then perhaps the court is the place to adjudicate that. But I don't want to confuse people with the man against man. I just wanted to clarify, because it came up to my mind when we were talking about this presentation, why they have to do this, because there is no injured party. The state technically cannot be injured, but it doesn't mean they don't have a claim against one of their agents.
So
Are
hold
we
on. So my question then
saying
would be:
anybody?
is this
What's that?
actual harassment?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I was getting to. The clarification is that if she went to the court, that is gossip and hearsay and third party when they come invite me to it. If I'm sound of mind, I know this. If she came to me with a true claim and bill in private and she tried to work it out with me and then we couldn't work it
Oh.
out, she takes it to her own court and she's got a true bill of claim. It don't need to be adjudicated. It's already been settled because I am of a sound mind and I can't work it out with her. So when she walks in there, all she's asking for is process that's due to her.
So this isn't a shotgun blast.
No,
Are we CCing anybody?
Oh, hell yeah. She,
you absolutely have to
shit.
Yeah,
CC
we-
people because look, one is involving the secretary, the
Right.
other is involving somebody, some position called district director.
All right. Okay.
Damn. You ever heard the song
that
CC
one is
Rider?
I don't like that one that much when it says shall, because I know what shall means. Right? Sometime in the future, right?
It just means it has to get done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there we go, right? I shall get tags and registration, whatever fucking. Yeah. So we can play that. They can play that way. You know what I mean? But
They
the
don't usually
first
play
one-
it that way. Their ass just
first
starts
one-
biting when you ask them for the documentary evidence that they have
yeah,
done this.
It's a wrap. They know they don't do it.
It's
So, like I
opposite
said,
the
okay,
treasurer,
so-
this opposite the treasury, you're involving the secretary and clerk and all that. I recommend contacting the state adjutant general at the state's embassy as well. We are
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about correcting the
Attorney
national
General's on the
status,
CC list.
so they need to know as well.
Attorney General's on the CC list. United States Attorney General, your state Attorney General. Goddamn, the Chief Judge Justice of that over that judge that you're disqualifying, the Chief Judge Justice of the United States, FBI in your state, and maybe CID.
If
at the
I don't send to the FBI, just so y'all know, I send to the Secret Service
Okay,
because the Secret Service is constitutional and the FBI is not.
okay. Well, I mean, no biggie. You can add that. I mean,
I'm just letting y'all know everybody can do whatever they want. You can send to the FBI if you wish. I'm just putting it out there.
Hoover.
to me that
Well-
you can look up the fiduciary, the responsibility, and they're not fucking handling it like they're supposed to, right?
Right.
Yeah, the CIA used to be the CID, which was department instead of agency. So there is constitutional secrecy within that agency.
Yeah, but not the FBI at all. The FBI literally
Federal.
does not exist
Bureau.
in the government in any way, shape, or form.
Contractual.
Hit that 301 real quick. We can go.
I wanted to,
You
I
want me to pull
wanted
up
to say,
301?
Malika,
Yeah,
I
just
wanted
scroll
to
up. My bad.
what I want to say before we move forward, because this came across my thought pattern. And when Malika mentioned about, and I wanted just to be clear, when Malika mentioned about making application, when these judges are making application, they are literally making application to the United States to be able to perform any public functions of the United States duties, these fiduciary duties. So that's what I want to clear up, because that was a thought that came across my mind, and that's what I thought you were clarifying, Malika. Is that so? Correct me.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I am too.
I just want to make it clear that everybody else, when making application, because people, private men and women, cannot make application. It only has to be people in fiduciary positions taking on a public office to do so. And I yield. Thank you.
All right.
Is that so? I'm just clarifying for everyone else.
I
as
don't
well as
know
myself.
because I don't know what point you're clarifying about
Well,
making application.
Well, the point that I brought up, because when you may talk about judges have to make application, and that's what I'm talking about, the application part. Private men and women cannot make application to these United States for fiduciary positions. It can only
Well,
be.
I mean, they can always pretend because that's what a lot of gurus have people out here doing. Go pretend to be for the fiduciary, and a lot of people take it on. So, I mean, everybody could do whatever they want. You want to play slave, you want to play master, you want to play half slave, half master, whatever. So, if people can make applications because people have the unlimited right to contract. If you want to prostitute yourself for the state, everybody is free. I'm saying that I do not because I don't qualify according to the rules. But if people want to volunteer, they can do it.
And that comes back to And if you're placating someone, that's where application comes from. If you're placating someone, you're relating yourself to that. So you have to remember, if you're making an application, you have to do it in a way that you're not becoming surety for them, or you're not making surety of other people, because you're going to vineyards yourself into that it's called field sparring. They are going to, it's a battleground. You're going to field yourself that way, and you become
Yeah,
part of the
I'm
game.
I'm always towards the combat. I'm not in it
Right. There you go.
personally, but there's some people who want to be in it, and we should allow people to do whatever it is that they want.
Homie the clown.
Oh yeah.
All right, so here we are, Charles, back at 301. Go ahead.
So, I mean, that's the definition, right? Every person acts for another person in the capacity shall give notice thereof to the district. We already went over that in writing. Okay, cool. When notice is not filed, I mean, we don't even have to read all that, but I don't think it's all on there. Is it A, C, and D?
Yeah, all I put is A, C, and D. I didn't put the others.
Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it, ain't it?
Yeah, because
Okay,
D is to let them know that you are aware of the fact that the term fiduciary is defined in one of our favorite sections.
71.
7701. Okay.
Slap him with the D.
Yeah, slap him with the D.
Okay.
To mean a guardian, fiduciary, executor, administrator. That's what the judges are acting as: administrators, receivers, servitors, or
So,
any person.
If you're actually in the county, right, or you happen to get hemmed up, then he's the trustee. And who are we?
Correct.
That's
Then
right.
Right? And right then he's gonna get you the fuck out of there. Tell you don't give him all your bills, goddamn it.
You're gonna give them all your bills.
Hell yeah.
You just come to court, bring your stack.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Hello,
Well, yeah,
fiduciary.
I mean, that's what you would do in a bankruptcy, right?
No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
you're right.
One term,
Yes,
guys.
that's what you do in bankruptcy too. You bring
Hold
all your
Correct.
bills.
They're
Hold on a
all
minute, B. Let me get
they're
my
all
girl to bring my
vassal
shit up here.
of pardon me, they're all vassal of the commissioner of the IRS, who right now I think is Douglas O'Donnell. So yeah, that statement you made is absolutely correct, because they are deputy to Douglas O'Donnell or whoever sits the seat pertaining to commissioner.
And that's
But
a great
IRS.
name. That's a great name, Douglas O'Donnell.
One
Jamaica.
term. One term.
All right, so
Trans.
if you're ever hemmed up, I suggest you know these few codes in that statement, from the beginning. Are you trying to establish a fiduciary relationship against me if you're already in there? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. Are you attempting to exercise a fiduciary relationship between us?
You gotta
Are you
recuse
trying
yourself
to commit a transaction?
and dismiss.
Are you trying to commit a transaction?
Okay, so
What
let's see
what
what
is-
number four is, because this is the main part, right? And then the IRS codes above come in because of the mention of fiduciary. So let's read this main part here about
That should
disqualifying
actually
them.
be at the top, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at the top, but I put it how you put it. I left it how
Did I
you put
really
it.
put it like that?
I think you put the other ones first, and then
No,
anyway, it
that's
doesn't
the
matter.
first one. That's the first one he got. I'm on the post now. That's
Okay,
the
cool.
first one he
Okay, cool. So here it says disqualification of judge, justice, magistrate, or magistrate judge. Any judge, justice, or magistrate judge of the United States shall disqualify himself. Do you guys see that? Shall disqualify himself in any proceeding in which his impartiality may reasonably be questioned. Now,
Yes.
if you're trying to come against, right, or a bank is trying to come against yourself, it's Bank of America or U.S. Bank or Citibank, especially U.S. Bank and Citibank, and the judge or magistrate or justice or whoever the fiduciary is has a credit card, mortgage, or some other type of relationship. Maybe they're giving him kickbacks. or whatever. Maybe they have, like I said, their car or something financed with this bank that's trying to bring a claim against you. Would it be fair to say that that might affect the impartiality, or that might
Yes.
cause the impartiality to reasonably be questioned?
Yes, because they both have to answer to the IRS, the bank and the freaking judge or whatever court the bank's trying to have a lawyer to, be counsel for them for. They all have to answer to the same Lord. So it's a conflict of interest every time.
Boom. That's the main thing that we were going to get into next. It is a conflict of interest every time. So he goes specifically to B4 because it says he knows that he individually or as fiduciary has a financial interest in the subject matter in controversy or in a party to the proceeding. Now let's talk about those two parts. Interest in the subject matter in controversy or in a party to the proceeding. Now, when anything having to do with an agency like CPS or the dog pound or whatever, okay, is the subject matter in question. Or even, like I said, with the mortgage stuff and credit cards and all that. Anytime the judge acts in any of these subject matter interests, a portion of it, if there's a monetary value, a portion of it goes to their retirement fund. Did you guys know that?
Yes, but then Malika, what about the fact that where is their check coming from?
That too. Me and Charles were talking about that when we were discussing this presentation.
What portion goes to their retirement
Because
fund?
that's going to go to the other part I was about to say, in the party of the proceedings. So if the proceedings are being brought by another attorney, another bar member attorney, if this fiduciary acting as justice, judge, or magistrate is a bar member, and there's a claim against yourself or against anyone, and a bar member, another bar member, is a party to the proceeding, does that not create a situation where impartiality might reasonably be questioned?
Yeah, that's like your middle finger having a case against the big toe. It's all a part of the same body.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So they've got an interest in controversy because it's contrary to the verse of our Father. Okay, so if you volunteered servitude to this controversy, we're talking Babylonian languages, and they have an interest because they are a religious state who are trying to bring back the foundlings back home. So as they do these things, they tie that to the seat of will, and the check is coming from the interest off of the state Kafirs of those seat of wills, which is wealthy, and that's what they are fighting over. That's where the money, the pecuniary interest comes from, because they are being daycare center controllers, parents, patriae, because they're control. It's a big daycare center, is what it is.
And it would all be, everybody needs to know, it would all be fine if we too were part of the corporation. If we were part of the corporation, a lot of this would not matter, because then we'd all be part of the same club. And yes, that might be your good friend, and I'm just like, your work friend or whatever, but at least we're all part of the same corporation. When we walk into a courtroom as a regular man or woman, do you realize everybody else in there is a part of the corporation and getting paid on the clock?
Yeah, but it says right there, seed. It says seed. It says seed. When we seed something, when we proceed something, we go before in seeding to accept the fact that we are acting like one of them. So they're going to treat, we're being illegal. We're being ill. So
yeah, we're definitely being illegal.
Yeah, so we
because if we're not,
No.
When we realize we're not a part of the organization and they're inviting us to court as a defendant, that is absolutely this conflict of interest going on, because the bailiff is getting paid, the judge is getting paid, the clerks are getting paid, right? The attorneys are getting paid, and then they're all getting paid, like the young lady just said, by the state.
Now, hold on a second. We're getting paid too.
Not by the state.
Now, hold on a second. We're getting aid, right? Paid, if you look at the word paid, it is.
But we're
aid.
not getting paid. Stop
Yeah,
it,
we are-
Bobby. When
we
we
are
are
getting-
listed as a defendant, we are
Yes.
and not getting paid.
We are getting paid.
We are who is funding everything going on in the room.
Sure.
We're not the ones getting paid.
And guess what we get? Guess what we get?
Besides coal in our stocking,
No, we get the aid of the public trust to help us through this matter because we're under a spell of illness. That's what we get. We get paid, perceived aid. That's what
And,
paid
We ain't getting paid.
and to put it in the proper context, in my opinion, somebody mentioned it in the chat section. Even an illegal alien, they have a duty to the illegal alien.
Yeah, ET phone.
Think about that.
home. ET
They have a
phone.
duty to the illegal alien just as well as they have a duty to the national born on this land.
What glowed on ET? His finger. And the reason his finger glowed because they're pointing a finger at you and he's pointing a finger back. He's trying to go, we're all trying to go home, but now we're in a state of affair that we don't know where home is. We're misplaced. That's why we're getting the aid and we're getting paid.
Is it alien or is it?
Well, and is it the 14th Amendment or is it the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment?
And if you read it, if you read it backwards, it means ever pertaining to non-liquid of the lie of the objectified A, which is the I.
Nobody understands that shit. I don't understand that shit you're saying.
yeah, I don't really understand what you're saying. We're not getting paid, Bobby. I don't care how you try to twist it. All right, so let's go on to the method because this is what Charles wrote. Find the judge/attorney's registered bar number.
Right.
If there's a prosecutor, find their bar number. You especially want to see if the judge has a bar number or is a bar member, because then you get to show that that's a conflict of interest since they're both members of this secret society.
Doggone it, my judge is not a member of the bar.
Sometimes they aren't. Like I said, I haven't seen that a lot, but maybe like 1 or 2 times.
They're
You know,
still
Mississippi crazy.
they still have to have this.
They had one before.
They still have to have that, regardless. We're
Yeah, I
just
just
getting
got a
their bar
response
numbers
to
to see. We're just getting their bar numbers to see if there's an additional conflict of interest because they're both part of the secret society, or if
It's
the
extra
conflicts
clause.
of interest is limited to the fact that the judge still has an interest in the case, being
Right.
that the spoils from the case are going into their retirement fund.
The bar claims they're not going to do anything with a complaint against an acting judge, even though
No,
he's
the
still
bar
on the-
isn't. You got to go to the judicial board, which is the Ninth Circuit.
It's a plan.
Mine is definitely a bar member.
Right, because yours is
Come on.
acting literally as an agency, ALJ. And unfortunately, those agencies tell them that they have to be bar members, but that's perfect for us because again, that means that everybody in the room has to be a member of the agency. So the whoever the judge works for is who the alleged defendant is supposed to be working for.
That's that Uno shit. You go over somebody's house and they pile colors. You go over someone else's house, they pile numbers, and then you get in an argument of what you can pile on in the game of Uno.
Reverse.
I've
Mhm.
never heard of piling colors. So I'm
No.
not going to that person's house and playing that game.
But that's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Reverse.
Okay.
Reverse.
All right, Charles. Charles asks, isn't that practicing from the bench? If they are a bar member, is it practicing from the bench?
Ask them to come swear in, then
Or misrepresentation.
It's fraud.
Yep, all the way.
If they are a
Don't,
bar
don't
member,
sugarcoat it. It's fraud.
well,
Yep.
again, if you the main thing with fraud, everybody likes to claim fraud, which is fine. I'm fine with everybody claiming fraud, but you got to be able to prove your elements of fraud. And one of the elements of fraud is that the misinformation was, or the misrepresentation was relied upon, meaning that is the misinformation that you thought made you come to court, that you used to say, okay, I have to come to court. Most of us on here are not going to be able to claim fraud. We might be able to claim misrepresentation, but the reason we won't be able to claim fraud is because we're not acting on the shit.
Let me spill in that. So when I asked the judge, was she a judge 3 times, right? She said, no, I'm an administrator. And I said, so he represents the state? She said, yeah, he represents the state.
He
then-
meaning the opposing attorney.
The attorney. So right there, I got her with, fraud open in court. Because when
Because
I
she
told you,
says she is not representing the state, is what she said.
no, she said
No,
that
she
I'm
said she's an administrator.
And then she said that the attorney represents the state.
She's an
And I-
administrator, is what she claimed. The attorney represents the state, is what she claimed.
Right. And then when I hit them with their contract clause that no attorney is able to are permitted or prohibited from saying that they represent the state, he jumped out of his fucking seat so fast and he's like, I don't represent the state. So there's the fraud right there, right?
What?
1, 2, 3, not it.
He jumped out of his seat. Now let's stay on that, what Charles just said for a second. Charles says he mentions the contract clause. Now this is going to be everybody's homework. So I hope everybody's excited about this. Because Charles said he cannot find the screenshot he took of this contract clause that he just referenced.
Is that the 48 US
It's not
22?
not even a title. It's their individual attorney contract clause, right?
So
So
this is
they're-
supposed to be a document that the attorneys create and offer to their clients that hire them. Is that what you're saying, Charles?
No, this is the one that if they're actually working for the state, right? They can't use the state as a source of authority. Basically,
But
in
we're
short,
talking about the source of the contract clause. What is it? Paperwork that the attorneys make up themselves? Is it something from the bar?
I think it's from the fucking state. Not
So
sure.
then, if it's from the state, it should be something we can find.
I mean, don't quote me on that, on the where it's coming from, but I'll just have to refine it.
So please find it for us and bring it back up, because apparently there's a clause that states that the attorneys are not supposed to use state statutes in their claims against other people. They're not supposed to use state statutes because they're not supposed to try to present themselves as being vouched for, bonded by, or related to the state.
Whoa, then they could never fucking prosecute for the state of name. that
Exactly.
it's on.
Exactly.
But isn't that in 15 USC with
Yeah,
misrepresentation? Yeah.
Right here. Yeah, that's what it says as far as the violation. But what I'm trying to do is connect the dot of why that's reality. Why is it that they cannot use the state statutes when they're bringing claims? What says that?
If you add those two together, it sounds like it's all over that anyways.
But this is what we need. If that is true, if they have some type of clause in their acceptance of their certificate that they are not going to use, because that means that they cannot, like Hassan just said, they can't claim to be representing the state up. And if they do, they still can't use the statutes in the body of their document. They would have to prosecute for common law things, common law rape, common law fraud, common law conspiracy. Okay.
So
They
are you
can't-
saying that the certificate that they get from the bar is a
we
clause?
don't know
in
if it's
that?
on the certificate. We do
Okay,
not know if
okay,
it's on. We
okay.
have to find out where it is.
Does that include representing the county?
The county is the state.
The county
is
is
the
the
federal.
state.
So check it out. All I can say is that I used that shit in open court with my black ass standing in there, right? I didn't even know 1692 E yet. So I was just spitting from their contract clause. And that shit's real as fuck. Well,
We need you to find that contract clause for us.
Wonder if it's somewhere in the code of conduct, because it keeps referencing, like, I'm just doing a quick Google search and I put attorney cannot use state statutes. First thing it brought up was Rule 5.5.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
What is it that Tony is putting in the chat? He says 26 25 70501 of the federal bar. I'm gonna take a look at that.
I
I
think
know. I found it through child support.
You heard that?
Wowzers.
So
Well-
what if the judge is a bar member and her practice is only family and mediation, but she's trying to fucking foreclose?
That shit don't matter.
Yeah. Once they're a bar
This
member and
is
the other
just
party's a bar member, it's
crazy.
a wrap.
So just to,
Founder.
just to blow everybody up real quick, I didn't blast like 12 of them off the bench.
Do you hear that? He said 7 at the time, but he made it at the time because, like I said, it was a year ago. I knew before yesterday he was up to 11. So now we had 12.
What?
12 motherfuckers blasted off the bench.
Say the word, Charles, because it has her email that she's been hiding right here on this bar registry.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they try to hide it. They try to hide it, no doubt.
What do you
Found
mean
it.
by blasted off the bench, please? Are you saying that you ended the case?
Of course.
I don't give a fuck about the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to get rid of the judge. It's like the notice to show authority that we showed you guys in Texas. Listen very carefully. It's
let me-
not
let me-
about ending the case as some of us think it has to end. If you get rid of the people prosecuting the case, does it matter if the
The
case is
case-
open or closed?
There's no case.
If you get rid of the judge and you get rid of the attorney, does it matter if the case is open?
No.
No,
I
no.
got
Well,
lifetime
if you have orders that the police are enforcing, like an order of protection that
Who's
you
coming
want
over?
removed from the case, wouldn't that be something you would have to get, and it wouldn't just happen by just blasting the judge?
The order for protection.
Try
that's
it.
that's a
Try
person
it
against a
first.
person. Or man versus woman or
I
man
did. I
Well-
blasted my judge, but they're not taking away the temporary order of protection.
Yeah, did
The-
it, was
the
it
judge-
filed?
The
Was it
judge is still
filed?
on the case,
Well, that's because the father is still complying, but yeah.
but that's not the question. So the judge is still on the case.
Well,
The
yes,
judge has not been blasted off the bench.
I guess not.
Okay, so let's not conflate things.
And was your complaint filed? Your motion filed?
It's not a motion.
Well,
I
she
did-
did it.
We're talking about something a little different.
Okay.
No, I guarantee you, she did a motion. It was filed. Ask her.
I did not do them. Yes, I made a notice to dismiss and, order to dismiss the case.
And was it filed? Answer the question.
That's a
Was it filed?
motion.
Was it
I,
stamped filed?
I sent it certified mail and put it into the electronic delivery system.
You're not
It's not
answering
filed
the
yet.
question.
It's not filed on the case as yet. It's on its way. But again, that means the judge has not been blasted off the bench. So you can't make any other suppositions if that's not happened yet. You
Yeah,
can't say, yeah, it worked or
a
no, it didn't
dismiss
work
is
because it didn't
already
actually
something
happen.
different. No, a dismiss is already something different. That's record shit. It's record talk. I don't give a fuck if it's dismissed, right?
Right.
I ain't going in there to fucking talk to you. I ain't taking no letters from you. Shit. I'm bullying this
But
shit.
what I'm saying is if you have a situation where you
Get
don't give
rid
a
of the
shit about what
judge
it is.
first. That's what we're talking about. If you have other situations, deal with that after you got rid of the judge.
Right, and I don't see no reason to go. Like I told you,
Okay,
this
so that
was-
we're not talking about that.
I don't go anywhere else.
There's no
don't
place
go-
else to go if there's no judge.
I'm on their head. I stay on his head. I don't go nowhere else. And I'm talking about the same shit. And I'm telling everybody.
It reminds me of Brother Taj be like, enforce the Constitution and stay there.
I mean, even if you're doing something else, you know what I mean?
Guys, there can't be a judge if you don't volunteer to be adjudicated.
I get that. I do get that part.
All right. So here we have, look, guys, you can donate. You can donate to McReal 10 right here if you guys are loving his stuff. Okay.
First show.
Okay, so now it says if the Secretary of Treasury, because that's who the secretary is, doesn't get notice from the judge of the fiduciary relationship of the taxpayer, that's a violation of due process. And they're holding internal revenue proceedings in the guise of criminal or civil proceedings. They're committing tax fraud.
Simulating the process, huh?
Boom.
Conversancies.
Wow.
So look, so you get his ass or her ass off of the bench, and then you file your federal claim.
I mean, if you don't, I would say get them with the evidence first, right? Ask them for the shit, and when they don't give it, then you got some evidence, right?
Yep.
Like 93 cases.
Yes.
That's
I
what
don't
it
think
is.
I don't think any of Keith's 93 cases are closed either.
Right. You know what I mean?
I'll
I
be
don't.
I'll be honest. It's the oh, my bad. Go ahead, McGrail.
No, you good, man. I'm
I was
just saying.
saying that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying to add to the wisdom. That's why, like, I know when I put it in the Telegram, Malika, it might have seemed like what, but remember when I put that memorandum, right? And I did that opening statement about in lieu of forms, and I said in lieu of Form 211, in lieu of 2848, and in lieu of Form 56. It is
Right.
exactly the reason why I did that is for the same thing that y'all going over right here, because I comprehend that these people are acting as fiduciary. So I'm not looking for the in lieu of forms to come to my rescue as much I'm utilizing that as a strategy to have them asked out. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
That's all you
So
wanted
when
to
we
be.
not filling out, the IFPs, because we already understand that that is an application or that is a security interest. So since we're not filling those out and doing the IFP, just like Sonny's post, they won't allow her to do it. So that's evidence.
What Buddy was saying, this same similar information goes on my 3949A and my 211, and then you know they're violating the 7701 and the 02 and fuck 04, 6. Goddamn, I can go on down the line. See what I'm saying? Same information goes on the MyRS.
Yeah, it's the same information over and over again. And just so you guys know, the 211 is a identity theft form. You can use the identity theft form, or you could
No,
just report
211 is
identity
whistleblower.
theft. Okay.
211 is whistleblower.
Oh, whistleblower. Sorry, whistleblower.
Identity theft 14039.
And I said IFP, woman. I think that was you, or I'm not sure. In the chat, you said, what is IFT?
IFP, informal
So the informal
papyrus.
proper.
Know what IFP is.
Somebody
I've
put
been
in there,
fighting
what
this
is it?
since
Guys, just to say something about the identity theft. I was on a call last night and they were saying when you do that to also do the request for taxpayer advocate assistance service, which is a 911 form. And they said they actually assign you a worker to deal with your identity theft process. So every time you do one, you should also fill out that form in conjunction.
And,
It depends what
let
you're
me-
trying to do.
let
I
me-
did that one time when they were trying to audit us like 20 years ago. And I got an advocate and it worked out like gangbusters. But a lot of people, when you hear them talk about using those IRS forms, they are asking that you put in things like claiming you have a social and stuff like that. And that's another one of the reasons that I do not advocate for the use of the form itself, because
Correct.
you can always just notice the IRS that someone is trying to attach you to a federal person with a number that is not yours, period.
Yeah,
That's why I
And
said
they're
it
not
earlier.
going to give you, they are not going to give you an advocate unless, of course, you're still trying to pretend to be a merchant, agent, contractor of some sort, and you are trying to claim that the tax number is yours.
That's why I
So
said
for
it
those of
earlier.
us that
Or
are
you
not
have to
trying
be
to
a
claim to be
taxpayer.
actors in a fiduciary ourselves, because there's a lot of people that do not mind being fiduciaries, and they don't mind telling you to act like a fiduciary either. So when I was in a fiduciary position 20 years ago, almost exactly to the day, funny enough, I did get a tax advocate because we were using social security numbers. If I'm not using a social security number and I'm just saying, hey, I don't know what's going on, I'm somebody who y'all have as a fiduciary trying to attach me to a federal person with a number that's not mine. That's how I would do it. And that would not make me eligible for the tax advocate because I'm not trying to act as an agent.
And this
Well,
is why you're being sound mind.
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead, Charles.
This is what I did to child support, which is up the same alley. I just went over to financial crimes and reported them for identity theft. So you can do the same shit to the judge, right?
Yep.
You open an account in your name, the account number is the case number.
Yep.
Fucking financial crimes officer just looked at me and laughed. He's like, you're right.
What else are you gonna say? You're wrong?
Oh, he just said that I didn't have proof at the time, right? But
What?
he can give me this was for child support and credit removal, right?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I'm
I don't know
saying
if you're moving around, Charles, but you sound low sometimes.
when you after you do that, you can do the default. You could do the default process on the judge, right? And then take that shit over to financial crimes and let them know that this motherfucker opened a case account in my names, right? Identity theft.
Correct, because it's a short-term loan program. So who said that you were going to be the surety for the short-term loan?
The
And that's how
fiduciary.
you say that again?
The fiduciary.
The fiduciary, right? And that's where you also utilize Proverbs 11:15 to kick their ass. Because you're not going to stand surety for a stranger.
Word.
So yeah, that part, you could do that and kickstart off a claim, right?
So he goes further. They're evading an obligation to pay a tax, being an agent by acting as an agent for the IRS. Foreign for-profit corporation. It's supposed to be posted for the public record. At the same time, they misrepresented their position as a judge, which would imply they were delegated Article 3 judgeship, and they have no fiduciary relationship outside of their delegation to common law when in fact they do. Operating for the Circle Church and hiding it, and then at the same time collecting for a third party foreign bill of exchange, forcing us to pay another party of which they're an associate and getting a kickback.
You double dip the chip.
It's cooties in it now.
For real.
Avoiding tax
Malika,
reporting and acting as agents, misrepresenting themselves as judge, collecting a finance charge for a third party foreign bill of exchange, which is an unlawful procedure in itself.
Bye-bye.
I went to Washington, DMV, not too far away from where you are, Malika, and so I applied for the driver license, and it says that was born in Bowling Air Force Base, Washington D.C., and they were laughing. I said, "What are you laughing about?" And they go, "You're not a U.S. citizen. You're not in any of this." And I said, "You better not say that too loud, or you're gonna get fired." And they're laughing. Yeah, we better not say anything. That was very interesting. Yes.
Now that is
You're not a,
interesting.
yeah, you're not a U.S. They were laughing at me. They're saying, "You're not a U.S. citizen. You were born on the Air Force Base in Washington, D.C. You're not a U.S. citizen."
Well, it's not really.
Well, that's why you need to have your foreign agent registration. Okay. Now the IRS form 4606A. Okay, that's the form that you use to ask the IRS if a particular entity is tax exempt.
Right, they're not.
And you're talking about the court corporation,
The court itself.
right? Like the courthouse.
The courthouse is actually government, right? Or at least some of the things in it. And they're hiding underneath that banner.
Because that's the territorial jurisdiction, because that's one of their buildings, right?
So they're just
The
hiding underneath.
IRS asked me if I wanted all my money back from all the years I paid taxes for. And I said, "No, I'm going to play that game with you. I'm going to collect everything in a lump sum, and then I'm going to cancel my number." And they said, "Oh, okay."
Did they do it?
I haven't collected the lump sum yet, but I'm gonna cancel it
Awesome.
because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
There you go.
You're not, your person is, right?
I have a certificate from the Catholic Church, and it has a different name on it.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
basically, Tony, I think that's Tony speaking. So basically what you're saying is you can notice the commissioner of the IRS, who is the head tax servant, and be like, "Hey, I wasn't supposed to be participating in this shit. Give me all my energy in whatever form I've given it back." That's what you're saying, right?
Is that what you're saying? Go ahead, Steven.
I'm saying that they I asked him, it all started when I asked him, I said, I want an accounting of where all of the money goes that I sent in to you. And they didn't want to give it to me. Finally, they gave me all these forms showing what they do with it. They loan it out at 8.5% interest for reinsurance. And they said, do you want all of your money back? I said,
Time
no.
out, time out, Stephen. So you're saying they're taking voluntary life's energy from you in whatever form you've given it, and then they're flipping the shit?
No.
On par.
No.
On
With-
par.
at 8% interest.
On par.
No,
Yes.
8.5% interest. They loan it out. They loan the money you pay in. They loan it out at 8.5% interest for reinsurance. It's all
Yeah, that's what I'm
reinsurance.
saying. They'll give out 100, and they want 850 back for every 100 they give. They flipping that shit.
Well, they're investing. They're invested for him because he gifted and volunteered, and they're
Are they
asking
invested it for him? If it's invested for him, shouldn't he share in that 8%?
Well,
That's
they
what you're
asked
I'm
supposed
not-
to do
I'm
at
not getting
65,
that.
right? That's
asked-
what you're supposed to do.
Jesus
I'm not getting that.
Did they
I'm
not
not
ask
getting
I
him?
know.
get a
I'm just.
whole-
I'm being silly because that's what they want us to believe.
Jesus Christ. Did they not ask him if he wanted it back? He did.
Yes.
Yes, they
They
did.
asked him if they wanted it, if he wanted his revisionary interest back to revision as that assurance that he did not lose that life that he volunteered.
Yeah, but he's
What?
owed the fruit too. The fruit, that apple that came from that initial fucking seed planted, is every 8 notes and 50 fucking
No.
cents for every 100.
Hold on a second now. They invested the principal. He don't get that back. He gets the interest that he volunteered to it.
Nah, I think they're trying to give him back his principal.
Well,
Only.
you can think whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the way
That's
it
what
is.
they're trying to do.
You
They're trying
heard
to
that?
cheat
He
me out of it.
confirmed. They're trying to give him back his initial principal.
Yeah,
He
cheat
do-
me. They're gonna cheat me.
They- He doesn't have a principal. He didn't have we keep forgetting that he don't have a delegation authority to invest.
Yeah, but it's volunteer, remember? It's
Yeah,
when
volunteer.
it comes to the taxes, they tell you that it's totally voluntary.
It's
Mhm.
voluntary.
Okay.
I put my name on there and it said I'm a U.S. citizen. I swore to that. So I'm not going to play that game with them because that's how they'll get you for income tax evasion. Bang, boom, bam, right there. Bada
Well,
boom, bada bing, bada fuko.
You can't evade taxes, but you can definitely avoid it, especially near.
If you're
adults.
liable for it and you don't pay, that is the literal definition of evasion. So if
Correct.
you're
Right.
volunteering, of course you cannot evade because it's not mandatory.
Correct.
If you are acting as an individual or firm, association, corporation, or other legal entity, you are bound to pay and therefore would be evading if you attempt not to.
Right.
But I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm not
conduct.
like they were laughing at me at the DMV saying that, you're a sucker playing for a license because, you're not a U.S. citizen. You don't need one.
That's a save.
Right.
The company
It's
I worked
only a
for
save if you comprehended and didn't do it.
the company I worked for made me get the driver's license because it was an ICC company.
I would sue the fuck out of them, but anyway.
Exactly. Slavery.
All
I
right,
know.
guys. So here we go. It says none of the orders, and this is very important, none of the orders issued by any judge who has been disqualified by law would appear to be valid. It would appear that they are void as a matter of law and of no legal force or effect. Should a judge not disqualify himself, then the judge is violating the due process clause of the United States Constitution.
Call the
proven
military
in
police.
this case right here.
Call the military police. Have
So,
their ass
so
removed.
now we know what the due process is again, right?
Mm-hmm. Shit's getting McReal here.
Judge, you have been automatically disqualified by law. You need to say that verbatim. Once they are
Right, so
shown
let
what
me,
the reality of the
let me-
situation is, once they are shown there's a conflict of interest, they can no longer claim to act in good faith. This has been our magic bullet that we have been able to fire off over the last 2 years, my people. Everybody always asks the question, how do we enforce insert whatever? And I keep telling everybody, the due process clause, not just due process, I'm sorry, the requirement for good faith is our magic bullet. I'm telling you, it's in every single code that it's required. So they only have to feign ignorance. Oh, I didn't know we weren't acting in good faith. I thought everybody was on the same page. Look at them. They keep showing up and shit.
Now, Malika, highlight the none of the orders issue, right?
Yeah, right here.
So I was facing a 6-month sentence if I didn't pay fucking child support. So I fucked around Miss Court, whatever, had a warrant, I didn't know. And I just so happened to disqualify that judge before I got arrested, right? So I sat in there and they called me out like a week later. Guess who's sitting on the bench?
Oh, the same sucker you disqualified?
Judge.
A new judge.
So my 6-month sentence went away, right? All that shit went away. They tried to start it all over again. Right?
With the new judge.
Right.
So the
Disqualified
first
that
judge knew that they were disqualified and they didn't show back up. I'm just clarifying for the people who think that the shit don't work. And there will be people who will walk into the courtroom and see a different judge and tell themselves, oh shit, it didn't work because here's another judge.
Do it again.
I want to know how
It
it's
means
not.
the first one worked. That's what I'm trying to clarify to people. It means the
Now-
first one worked and you need to reapply it again.
Not only did it work, the reason why I'm trusting you shouldn't have to reapply it again is because they're of like kind. But it's like
Right.
it's like the fucking myth of Hercules and the 9-headed Hydra. It's like, oh, let's chop off this head. Oh, what the fuck? You more grew back. Like it's kind of like that.
Right.
and you
The
got to
fact
do
that-
it again.
The fact that they didn't do it to initiate the case in the first place already makes it, and they get another one already makes it bullshit because they can no longer go back and do it.
Exactly. They can't go backwards and do this, guys, because this is what's supposed to happen before the case is initiated. So once you bring up, and somebody mentioned this, funny enough, on Facebook yesterday, they were like, if you skip step 1, the whole bitch is fraud. The whole
All
thing
of
is done. You cannot go backwards.
And this is supposed to happen before. So I mean, even when you get to the point where you were improperly served. So even if you started at that, it's over with. Nothing that happened later can stay.
Exactly.
But they know that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about or doing when you're jumping all over the other shit and you missed the initial shit, right?
Yes.
They know
And
it's-
that reminds me of what Malika always say: when you start at the foundation, none of that other shit even matters.
Exactly.
Constitutional question, emotional outburst then. So that means when you put in for a case on federal court then, and you want to bring up constitutional question, should the question just be, yes, what color noose would you like to be hung in? I don't know what you mean. Explain yourself. And then you use these points here to disqualify, like show that they disqualified themselves from
They
the
disqualify themselves, absolutely. And I like the fact of asking the questions of the federal question directly in the case. I actually just asked somebody that who I was reading their federal question case, and they actually put their federal questions in the case. So I don't know if they'll take too kind of the what color noose you want, but it's absolutely a good idea to put your federal questions in the case.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yep. So you got to use this on the second judge, Charles?
I used it on everybody who put their ass in the seat.
You hear that? Anybody dumb enough to put their ass in the seat.
Get it gone. I don't care if they try to hurry up and rule on the case or not.
Exactly.
Because of that last paragraph, right?
Yes.
None of the orders.
Okay, so judge, you have been automatically disqualified by law. The Supreme Court has also held that if a judge wars against the Constitution, isn't that 5? Okay, so let me show y'all two things. 5 USC what? I think it's 5177. But also, I want to show you guys this.
3.
Oh, is it 03? 05. Oh no, it maybe is 03.
It's 03 for the disqualification.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. 03 for the disqualification. So here we go. Thank you, Trading Brigade.
That shit says membership.
Oh yeah, because you gotta the judges, if they do if they're federal, okay, you guys can look this up as well. See if they have a federal bar number. It's not hard to find. You guys be so funny. Like I don't know what database to look into. Just do a couple more searches. You'll find it. There's a whole list. You type in names. You type in the name of the man or woman acting as judge. You type in bar number next to it or membership, federal membership, bar membership, or something like that. You'll find them. Okay, you see grounds for disqualification? These are the types of things that we need right here. Grounds for disqualification. Everybody needs to write this down because, again, this is the federal bar. They talk about members. See right here, members of the National Council of the Federal Bar Association, a nonprofit corporation incorporated in D.C. That's the United States of America. Or, sorry, the United States.
Are you trying to overthrow?
Are you trying to what?
Are you trying to overthrow?
That's right. They trying to overthrow. See right there? Grounds for disqualification. An individual may not be a member, director, or officer if the individual is a member of and advocates the principles of an organization believing in or working for the overthrow of the government by force or violence. And when they're doing nonsense from the bench, that's definitely by force, minimum. And when they send people to your house to arrest you, it's by violence. Because your house is not in the corporate limits of the city, county, or state. Why is that? In order for it to be in the corporate limits, it has to be written down on a UCC-1 that it's one of their items, one of their united, okay, properties.
And it's by violence when they come to sit your ass out too.
Exactly. Number
That's the
two,
part.
if the individual refuses to uphold and defend the Constitution.
That's all
So
of
that's
these
all of ours. That's all of our shit.
But who's using this? Who's using this to disqualify them? And remember,
right.
everybody has to remember, it's an automatic disqualification. It's not like, oh, well, I deny your motion. Because even if you call it a motion, you have to have grounds to deny it. Does everybody understand? It's not just, oh, they called it a motion. That means I can arbitrarily say no. That's why I don't mind using motions. They can deny them, but you got to have a reason. And you can't be like, well, she's trying to make me disqualify myself. Denied. Could y'all imagine? Could y'all imagine the judge actually having to say, so judge, why did you deny this case? They're trying to make me disqualify myself with the truth.
So just for clarity, at the beginning, it was said that we should do this privately. And how do we know if we should do it privately or as a motion? Would it be motion to dismiss because you're
No.
Disqualify. That's the
wait,
word.
motion qualified, but do
Yes.
you have to put a reason, like usually they put an affidavit in
Let her finish her question, Charles.
It's in the app. It's in the fucking notice, baby.
So wait, which one do you do? The motion on the record, or do you do
No.
the private, or do you do both?
Stay off the record.
Okay.
They will try to. Sometimes they if you title your shit close enough to their bullshit, they'll try to throw it on the record and then rule over it. Right?
Yeah.
They might.
So
You can't
to
say
me,
they
no,
will.
they
You have to
might.
say they might.
They will.
So would it
have-
be email? Like, would I email this to the judge's court attorney, or like?
Hell no.
Because one time in my case, my mom did send something to the judge privately, and she threw it out and said she wasn't going to read it. And so, how do you? She said it was.
That's a win.
She said it, I forgot what word she used, but she made it seem like,
Ex
you know, it
parte.
would be.
Yeah, a lot of people say they want to
What
do
she
ex parte
word she
conversation.
said was that she didn't want to bias her opinion in the case, so she didn't read it. And it was like a letter from my mom, basically, you know, recanting her original statements or whatever. But the point is, if she does that, is that when you would go put it on the record? Like what at what point, what if she's like, oh, I got something from you and I'm not reading it?
Like I said, I don't care. Don't fucking read it. But I'm sending it to your boss. I'm sending it to the
Right.
AG.
Right.
I'm sending it to everybody else so they know what the fuck's going on.
On a closed
Okay.
case,
So
too.
on that notice, you would CC whoever and
We
you
have
let
it right here. The state and federal AG, the district attorney, the chief justice. I would say the Secret Service. Someone mentioned the FBI. I would absolutely hit the Administrative Office of Courts.
There were
Put
more
the,
people that reporting them.
I'm gonna say this, guys. Let me say this because this is a similar question that people ask about the attack against the attorney. Whether we're gonna use the same exact content, but are we gonna call it a notice of no authority, which is what we call it when we send it to the attorneys privately? We call it a notice of no authority. Or are we gonna put it in the same information and call it a motion to show authority? Okay, this is the concept. When you send it in as a notice, just a notice, it's better. It works best if you also include other people. Like Cindy asked earlier, is it a shotgun blast? If it's a notice, yes. You send it to a bunch of different people because then, like Jasenia just said, what if the judge said they're not going to read it? Well, who gives a damn if you read it, if your boss reading it and the people who could prosecute you reading it? Okay? So if you're using it as a motion, then you do not need to do the shotgun blast. You are putting it on the record, and Malika is going to suggest, based on my experience. Of course, everybody could do however they wish. You can fuck around and find out yourself. Okay?
I'm just telling
But
you
if you
already.
do it as a motion, they still cannot arbitrarily deny it without saying why. Because remember, this is an automatic disqualification. So they can only continue forward after, because remember, that good faith is always required. You literally have to be wrong. They literally have to be able to produce these items to dismiss, if you want to say, ignore, or it wouldn't be ignoring it. They would still have to answer. You see what I'm saying?
Malika, it would be 13, but the bitch put it on the fucking record and hurried up and rolled on it real quick.
So
What
they
about
put it on the
closed-
record and they tried to rule on it, but did they give
No, I
points of
didn't.
authority?
No, when they put it on the record, they just, to me that means that that they didn't give it to the judge, right?
Oh, they did not give it to the judge, but that's different because you can always give the judge stuff in chambers. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
You go in person, but not on Zoom.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
you can
here's-
send it to the fucking post through registered fucking mail and make sure on the envelope it says
You say in
read in
chambers.
chamber.
Yes.
Here's the
I
part
have
you're
a
missing.
question.
Hold on a second. Before we move on, the part we're missing is they don't have to prove a damn thing to you if you've already volunteered. All they have to prove is to the trustee, the fiduciary, that you are insane. They don't have to communicate back with you. They have to communicate with your trustee.
What about on a closed case?
I have a question, Malika.
Hold on.
That
We got a
same
couple
thing.
of questions.
Same thing on a closed case.
And when you say administrative office, that means the clerk, right?
Why don't you go look up the Administrative Office of Courts?
Okay.
That's a
Guys,
whole separate.
guys,
McBrew.
when I say administrative office, just go look it up. Administrative Office of Court. The Administrative Office of Courts is not in the same courthouse. Okay, it's not in the case is in. Unless you're at the Capitol, the Administrative Office of Courts, every state has one.
Can you talk about the closed
And if
cases?
you look it up,
Those
This is
cases,
the IRS too.
Real
Ha-
quick, McGraw,
Listen, guys, what you have to understand is the ability for the judge to adjudicate is a challenge to the subject matter jurisdiction of the court. Same thing with the attorney's authority to bring a case. It speaks to the subject matter jurisdiction of of the court. Now, what is the statute of limitations to challenge subject matter jurisdiction?
never. There is
Never.
never.
Never. So that's going to answer your own question about what about so-called closed cases. Always remember, subject matter jurisdiction has no statutory or common law or any other limitation.
Well, the judge denied mine, saying that I couldn't. He literally did. I had a motion for subject matter jurisdiction, and he denied it. Just
We're
flat
not
out.
talking about a motion for subject matter jurisdiction. We're talking about disqualifying the judge, which speaks to the subject matter jurisdiction of the court. Do you comprehend or not?
You can challenge jurisdiction at any time, is what
Not
she
just
said.
jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction.
Plus, you can't come to
And
my
you do
house
not
and
have
say,
to
"I'm not
call
gonna
it,
do
you do not have to call it challenge to subject matter jurisdiction. Okay?
Gotcha.
You can call it disqualification of judge, disqualification of magistrate, disqualification of justice. Why are they being disqualified? Because they don't have their paperwork in order, which means that the court has no subject matter jurisdiction.
Right.
Never had it.
Unfortunately, when we call things subject matter jurisdiction, we're not talking specific things like this.
Can I ask my question?
We got like 4 hands ahead of you.
Oh, okay. Hey Charles, can you go back? You got interrupted when you were saying that in one of the cases, you did send something to the judge to disqualify them, but I guess they didn't honor it and they showed up like anyway. So what did you do in that case?
Well, when I disqualified any of them,
The 13th one that you said that it would have been 13, but they put the disqualification into the case, and
Yeah.
then it was arbitrarily
They just
ruled
placed
upon
them
and
on it.
dismissed.
yeah, they just kept going. But I never whatsoever ever went in there when I started disqualifying.
So because this has happened before to people, Charles. When you did you send it private and then the other party just put it on the case?
I think I had the caption pretty close the header to the courts. So they're like, "Oh, we'll fix this nigga. We're just gonna put it on the record."
Okay, so you sent it in as private. They put it on the case. That's what I was trying to clarify. Because that happens when we send in the motion to show authority as well. And when one attorney realized what he did, he tried to strike his own motion to show authority that he put on the case.
His own action.
Yes, he put his own. We sent it to him privately. He put it on the case, and then he's like, "Oh shit."
You know you'd have fucked up, Dom.
I think I fucked up. Strike my own pleading, like dummy, you stupid. Okay, so you guys are hearing. You put it in as a motion. They might try to arbitrarily deny the motion. Like sometimes we put the motion to show authority, and they strike it, right? And I'm sorry. We do a motion to show authority. They strike it, or they try to not rule on it. But that to me, in my experience of helping people, that is more rare. That's not the typical thing that happens.
You're just acting like shit's real, right? It's quasi, right?
What
you
if they
mean?
don't respond at all?
They ain't supposed to.
So you put something on the record and they say nothing. They don't say
It depends
anything.
what the thing is. If I put an automatic disqualification on the record, do you have to reply? And why is it that you don't have to reply?
The fuck's the judge gonna get
Because
on
your
the
ass disqualified.
Exactly, you're disqualified.
Right.
If it's a motion to dismiss or demand for dismissal.
Are they supposed to be talking to you?
You guys, listen, guys. You guys are so focused on trying to get the case dismissed
Yeah.
that you're missing out on the disqualification of the actors in the case.
Stop right fighting.
Can't move. I don't give a fuck what they come up with. You just disqualify it after that, right? What does it say? Render their judgment void, right?
That's right. It renders their judgment void.
Matter of
Says it right
fucking
there
law.
in the case law.
I'll first add on to your wisdom then. So even though we said for the record so far, it's a disqualification, which is also just, challenging the subject matter jurisdiction. That's also challenging territorial and personam jurisdiction because they're not the people that should be talking to you within their so-called territories because you don't qualify being there. So that's why I'm even just agreeing even further that yes, it's dealing with subject matter. However, first it's dealing with you don't belong there because you're not within their realm.
Because that is the subject matter, though. The subject matter is we see you as being in our realm, so we're going to touch you here and touch you there and do this to you and do that to you and then flip you over and
Stranger danger. I'm just saying, but no, you're right. You're right. However, I'm just saying that's ultimately also in concept. That's a challenge to the territorial jurisdiction.
yeah, it's a challenge to the whole thing because
Yeah.
subject matter is the encompassing of the all. They
Gotcha.
have subject matters jurisdiction only if they have personal and territorial or in rem. That's what would make the whole thing subject matter.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's go to these couple of questions we have. Am Woman, go ahead with your question, common emotional outbursts.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm just trying to keep up. So I really greatly appreciate everyone sharing, and this is really amazing. So my question is, and thank you, Charles, so much for all of your wisdom and knowledge. So when we go back and when he was talking about sending something privately about okay, so
It's
if
not
you're
something,
sending,
it's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. It's just whether you're going to send it as a private notice or if you're going to send it as a judicial notice or as a motion. I would say it's a motion for judicial notice if you do it as a motion. That's just me.
okay, so for instance, back when I first tried to do this privately, and I was sending the clerk the thing about, listen, I didn't consent to the magistrate, and I need to fix this because you guys you didn't have permission to put the magistrate on the case. And then basically she was fighting with me saying, you have to file this on the case.
She's giving you legal advice?
Basically, yeah.
So then do a motion to disqualify.
Okay, well, I'm just
wanted you to put the motherfucker. That's why she wanted you to put it on the case.
But
right?
she didn't file a disqualify. She just put it in a notice like, hey, how does the magistrate have any authority to talk in the case that I'm instituting? I don't want him on there. And the clerk's like, oh, you have to file that into the case. I wouldn't file that exact notice into the case. I would do an official disqualification using the points we're going over here.
I think I know what they did. So what you're saying, Charles, is that they wanted me to file it on the case. And so that's why they basically.
Me and Malika bumping heads. To me, I think you should stay off the record. Just blame what they did probably and be done.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
Well, I didn't realize that. I mean, I should know that better, that everything they do is a trick. But I thought the clerk was just ignorant.
She might be. She might be advising you out of her ignorance.
Okay,
so
so
it
I
ain't no
filed it on
wrong
the-
answer. So don't feel bad. It ain't no wrong answer. They just giving you, you know what I'm saying, the both sides.
Yeah. Mhm. So I ended up filing it on the case, and it's now to a point where I'm trying to get him recused, and I'm using one of these, the 28 USC 455, and it's on interlocutory appeal.
That's not the same thing. You can right now still send a notice to disqualify directly to that magistrate.
Okay.
Anyone, any magistrate, pretender.
Okay.
So let me go back.
You got to understand the angle that Charles is talking about. When they talk about the 455 disqualification, he's literally stemming them up with their not having authority to act in a fiduciary capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just staying there. I've been waiting you guys to catch up God damn it.
Right? Charles is like, I'm so bored. I
Don't
kick
do us
everybody's
like that,
ass as a
Charles.
defendant. Charles is like, I'm not gonna be no plaintiff.
That's why if they're
Come at me,
acting,
bro.
if they're acting as a fucking fiduciary, then everything should be in
Charles
the.
lying. Charles like, I need to come on and study with y'all, so I might be a plaintiff one day.
You're hilarious. They should be acting in favor of the beneficiary
He
if they're
needs
going
us
to
to
play.
catch up because these people are easy to
Well,
beat.
if you're like what you're saying, bro, if
All
you're
right,
in
did we go
jail,
over the last part?
hold up.
Oh
If you're
yeah,
in
you've been automatically disqualified. The Supreme Court has held that if the judge wars against the Constitution, that's where I went and got the 36 USC 70503, or if he acts without jurisdiction, he's endangered. I'm sorry, he's engaged in treason to the Constitution. If a judge acts after he has been automatically disqualified, then he is acting without jurisdiction. And that suggests he is then engaging in criminal act of treason and may be engaged in extortion and the interference in interstate commerce, interference with trade, which is 15 USC 1 and 2.
See if Malika can
Those
still
are
hear.
his favorite parts right there.
Malika's spirit probably went out.
Okay. So as far as playing it from you're the plaintiff perspective, okay, you could still do private notice, or you can still do judicial notice. Motion for judicial notices are not usually one of those what do you call it? Denied. They can't deny a motion for judicial notice.
All right, I warned you.
Do you guys know that?
No.
Write down judicial notice and do your research on what a motion for judicial notice is. As long as you are spitting straight copy paste facts, it cannot be denied. They either take judicial notice or they don't take judicial notice.
That's one of the first things we're told. Yeah.
Go to the definition of fiduciary right there, 301 point.
Was that your
whatever it is.
only question, Am Woman?
Can she not hear me?
That's why
No,
I
I'm
said
here. I'm listening.
I'm talking about Malika. Can she not hear?
I think something's wrong with her speaker. She can't hear.
Malika, can you hear me?
that's what I thought.
Her speaker is right.
I just sent her a private. Everybody just send her a private to check her speaker. Maybe she'll.
All right, so we're gonna go on.
Hold on. No, no, no.
Just then, yeah. Go ahead with your
Malika.
question.
No, Malika, no, no.
Malika.
No, hold up.
She can't hear us.
Yeah, she can't hear us.
Oh, it's me. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead, Am Woman.
Okay, so okay, Charles. So I did have a question about, have you ever brought a federal case and done the basically done like the right to proceed and not have to so-called pay, not done the IFP and gotten it through?
Charles has never been a plaintiff.
Malika,
Oh, okay.
Malika, you know about that, man.
Thank you.
And then I had said earlier, if they're gonna if they're gonna act like they're fucking fiduciaries, which in my studies thus far is them saying they're a trustee, cool. Then you should be ruling in favor of the beneficiary then, and not your private buddies.
Right.
Especially if you are in right and you get in front of him. He is the trustee, and you are in his care, and you're the beneficiary. All you gotta do is say it.
Correct. You have to rule in my fucking favor. Period.
It's in the trust.
I express my distrust. That's why I don't ever go to court. I distrust you. I'm expressing my distrust.
I'm just saying if you happen to get picked up on the time, you know what I mean. Shit happens.
There you go.
Because that's what they would
Now
have
you-
to do to
now
me.
now
I
you
need
get
what
all
Charles
built
is
up.
saying because that's exactly what that's what I would need because that's the only way I'm going to go.
Right.
They'd have to
And
pick
so
me
at
up
that
and I'd be
point,
sitting here like, are
you
you
have it.
acting in fiduciary capacity? Yeah, okay.
Then rule in my favor, bitch. That's basically what you had to tell them, demand them to do.
Hold on, let me go get this mortgage real quick.
You gonna go get a mortgage, Charles? We waiting.
No,
We gonna be
that's
right here
the
when you get
paperwork.
back.
That's the paperwork you give them. Look, here go my mortgage.
It's not. You think it's a game?
They're gonna. So do you carry your bills around with you in case you get dragged in? Because I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to keep mine on.
So as the motherfuckers, hey, as soon as somebody come get me, I'm telling them to bring all that shit.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
my one phone call. Bring that stack of bills on the side of the bed.
Uh-huh.
Stupid. Jasenia, go ahead with your question, comment, emotional outburst, dear.
Hey, this one was for you, Malika. I just wanted to know, does this method make my counterclaim a moot point? Because I didn't finish it, but I'm almost finished, and I wanted to know, should I just skip that or somehow edit something like this into that and change the name from counterclaim
I would
to
keep it separate, even if you do both.
Okay.
I would keep it separate. And again, this is a disqualification of the tool that they're using. It's just like attacking the attorney.
Right.
It's something preliminary.
But much
Right.
more efficient.
Right. And that's what it seems like. It's just like knocking everything out of the waters.
Because
But
it
if
starts
that
there.
doesn't, right.
You
But
it
if it,
can't not work. It cannot not. This is what you guys need to understand. The same thing with the attorney to show authority and this disqualification of the judge. It cannot not work. It can only not be done.
Right.
You guys have to see what do you see what it says here? Automatic. It's automatic.
In other words, checkmate is checkmate unless you don't.
Remember that point?
Checkmate.
Right. That's the only way you could lose your checkmate. You didn't call it.
So Malika, even after probate, I already won, and the property tax that I sent off, and it's won. Even still, I still disqualified the motherfuckers after I'd already.
So you won the case
confirmed it.
and then disqualified the judge?
Yep.
Don't do nothing else. I'm disqualifying your stupid ass.
I'm not. I'm not doing nothing else. I said I'm just getting rid of you just in case.
So I just want you guys to hear what Charles just said because I know he speaks quickly. They tried to take his mother's house from him after she transitioned in probate court, and he beat them in probate court for the house. After he beat them in probate court for the house, they tried to come after him for the taxes for the same house.
And then the
Impressive.
lawyers were communicating with each other, to pass the information.
Yes.
Of
So
course
the
they
lawyers
were.
from the probate case that lost were communicating with the lawyers from the tax case that lost.
Fucking hyenas.
That whole membership association.
So let me say this.
Malika, you know what's so interesting, what's so funny? And, hey everyone. In the Georgia Research Deed Manual, Georgia actually tells you if they take your house due to taxes, they tell you how to get it back.
Wow.
Most of them tell you how to get it back, but you got like a 3-year redemption time frame.
They give you
Well, there's
that.
no
Inverse
there actually
condemnation.
don't worry ever about those time frames. Those time frames are for attorneys. Those time frames are not for people who have been defrauded.
Gotcha. But they definitely
give
tell
you
you how
guys-
to get it back in the redemption.
Let me give you guys the ultimate question my homeboy gave me, and that shit is so lovely.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Give me. I mean, I asked all the debt collectors. I asked them in probate. I said, give me the instrument on the underlying obligation so I can make it payable, and they're boxed in.
Whoa.
Give me the
Right
underlined
here.
what?
Look at it. I wrote it down already.
Give me the instrument on the underlying obligation so I can make it payable, which would be endorsed, right, etc. Which Malika don't believe in. I'm cool with that. But
In other words, like if you got a paycheck and you endorsed it on the back and all that shit. Am I comprehending that properly in the grill?
yeah, the
Yes.
application is the money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they can't send the application no more, right? They ain't got it. So and they're denying in the same. Oopsie.
You breaking up, McReal.
Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Better now.
As soon as you start talking to Juice, it starts breaking up.
Yeah, digital water.
They mad. They mad.
Already highlighted the question though. They can stay mad.
Where's the instrument application on the underlying obligation?
He adds so I can make it payable. But you see, they never keep originals, guys, of these applications.
You can never.
They never
Right.
keep the application you use to apply for the so-called loan or the credit
Right.
card.
Well, so on that note, they can't send it, so they're refusing payment. That shit's so lovely.
Mhm.
That's why Charles over here like, oh, I'm so bored. Let me go check my mail. Ah, fuck. Nobody in there to sue. Nobody in there to disqualify.
So in probate, when I asked the judge, you know, I asked the attorneys for the instrument on line obligations, so I can make it payable, blah blah blah, right? And they wouldn't send it, so I defaulted them, and I didn't even put it. I didn't even put it on the record. I just spoke it on the Zoom. So she was
Wow.
like, and I said, so am I to understand that there is no instrument on the underlying obligation? She said, yeah, there's one right here. I said, is it original? She said, no.
No. No. So you
But-
photocopied the $100 bill that you lent me then? You're showing us a photocopy of the $100 bill that you gave to me allegedly?
Uh-huh. Or where's the application for the quote unquote child support? Where's the application for you can take this house from me? Let me make sure I got that correct.
Exactly. It's where the application is for anything.
Right.
That's why when we ask them for the application, that makes us a taxpayer, because in the taxpayer rules, it says this definition of application, which is where the county and the taxpayer got together and made this deal. Where is it?
Yeah, it's amount requested with a signature as a check, right?
Yeah,
So
but they can't even produce the thing.
wow, I did it for my homeboy on his student loan, and they only sent like 2 of the 8 pages, right? Maybe half of them.
Wow. That's actually kind of you.
All right, so we have Rima on here. I think we got to the end of what Charles was here to show us. Did you guys have any other questions for Charles? I guess we're gonna see with the hands up. Go ahead, Indigenous Maiden.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to ask Charles, when's the last time he used that IRS process? Because I did initiate that on my court case and sent the IRS the application to try to get a determination letter. I think it is what it is. And the IRS
It's not an IRS process. This is a disqualification of the
I
judge.
think he's asking about a different one I did.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to get a determination letter, and IRS sent back a bunch of googly gunk, like, "Oh, you didn't fill out the application," pretty much, and just ignored what I was asking for.
A debt from IRS?
No, this was for the court case. I wanted to see if they were tax exempt, and I wanted the IRS determination letter for that to say that they were not.
Right, and it most likely it's on their website too. We just don't look.
Okay,
Mine
on that.
was.
Okay, I'll look there. But like Malika said, we don't really need it. But it was just
You're
one way
talking
I tried
about
to
this
go.
4806A?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I've done those though before I knew what
I wouldn't do that. I don't care if the court is tax exempt. I don't care about their
Okay.
tax exempt status. All I care about is your authority to talk to me.
Right.
It just proves they're not government. That's all.
And I was just thinking, because they don't really pay attention until they get hit in the pocket. So that's why I was going to IRS route as well. But if we don't need it, then it's just less of a headache.
They're not government. They're private.
Right.
Correct. They're all working under the IRS commissioner. All of them. They're all accountants.
I just want y'all to know that this right here is just a copy and paste. Like 99% of it is a copy and paste of what Charles posted in the Friends-in-Law group on Facebook. I think somebody might have actually posted the link to it. I know a couple people were actually looking at it in its original state on the Friends-in-Law group on Facebook. But
No, I was looking at it on Lawful Living.
oh, he posted the same thing on Lawful Living?
Yep.
Oh, good. Because I'm not on Facebook. Awesome.
Yeah, it's in the Facebook Friends-in-Law group. Again, I don't mind inviting y'all to the document. It's just my notes that from directly Charles. Like these are all his emojis. Everything.
That's why I wanted. That's why I asked for it. So
Okay.
yeah.
I just wanted y'all to. I didn't write this. I just copied and pasted what Charles wrote. I
Look,
added this
I
right
saw
here, this little bit right here, and the little bit at the top. What'd you say, Charles?
Hilarious.
We didn't understand what you were saying. You know. All right. Is
Yeah,
that your
well,
only question, Indigenous Maiden? We're gonna say yes because I didn't mute everybody this time. All right.
Wait. One more.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was trying to find the unmute button. Something interesting happened. You know, I filed my federal case, and the attorney general sent me a letter asking me to call them for clarification
I ain't
instead of
calling
responding to the
you.
case.
What?
So yeah, I thought that was odd. Didn't know if anyone else
That's
had.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Why the attorney general? Were they a party?
Yeah. Well, the state is.
Oh, so
Because
the state wants to represent the attorney general.
I think.
oh,
Yes.
they got a
Did you tell them that you want to keep everything in writing?
I'm going to.
Okay.
And this was after, because they haven't responded and neither has the county, but the attorneys did. And I put in a motion no authority or motion to show authority for the attorney.
Did you set the hearing?
No.
You have to set the hearing. You cannot just be like, I put the motion on there and I'm just gonna let it ride out. You have to set your hearing for the motion.
Okay. All right. Well, that was all my questions. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
What
Hey,
did you say,
after this-
McRae?
I said, how that motherfucking represent the state?
The attorney general?
Yeah, we voted.
You asked if he voted?
No, I'm saying, is it because we voted or what?
How does he represent the state?
Yeah.
Electoral college.
I think he represents the state based on the Judiciary Act of 1789.
Okay.
That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
I think the AG is a fourth tier illegal part. The AG is illegal.
Right. So who's on iPhone? Is that AIM? Who's on
No,
iPhone?
that's not I. That's not I.
All right. I don't know who's on iPhone, but you could unmute yourself and ask your question, or we can carry on.
Oh, okay. It might be me.
Nah,
My name
it's
is
not
Brittany, and
you, darling. You got
Not
3
me.
people ahead of you. Somebody's name is literally iPhone.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
The police.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Don't give up. We're going to have time today. I'm said.
Yo, what up?
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
What a dooski. Good. So, I wanted to ask, because I came a little late, of course, but I wanted to, I wanted to ask about the, this counterclaim, because I feel like I got my shit together, but then I'm hearing the chatter on the call, so I'm wondering, I'm looking for opinions on the route I'm about to take with you.
Always try to disqualify the judge and or the attorneys first is my suggestion.
Well, I figure they automatically. It's like, am I ever going to find in this state a judge who doesn't have a conflict of interest finding what we found?
Probably
Regardless.
not.
Of course,
Because the
fund
only
enough.
way it could be not a conflict of interest is literally if you two are a part of that government wannabe corporation. I don't know how they're going to do something that's not a conflict of interest.
And you just make your claim like in small claims against one of the motherfuckers. Just saying.
Well, why not? See, they moving against me. Why not? Why not just move? Take over their shit. That's how I'm looking at it.
But you can also disqualify the judge, disqualify the attorneys, and put in a counterclaim. There's nothing wrong with that because once we do our templates, guys, once we make our templates, it's just changing out the parties, changing the date, right? Maybe changing a couple of details if necessary, and sending it out. You can do a notice to disqualify the judge, a notice of no authority to the attorney, and a counterclaim that includes both of them as the counter plaintiff. We can play this however they want.
And then if you actually happen to be there, right? Like I said before, if you happen to get hemmed up, it'd be so much easier just to verbally get him out of there. It'd be quicker. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I want to add.
I've
to
noticed that. Go ahead, though.
No, I was just saying, like, I'll say, like this quoting briefly. Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, if you can't run from a fight, drop the world on them. So yeah, do all that shit. I yield.
Everybody's learning. The motion to show authority is quick. One page. This same thing. The disqualification of judge, 1 page.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but then the magistrate basically strikes it.
Well, that's why you got to disqualify him
Yeah.
Put on him.
because they might,
Well, then let me.
they might. I don't know. They're not even calling it striking. They call it what? Terminate. So stupid. They might terminate
Right.
it if you put it on the case. This is one of the reasons Charles is saying to send it privately.
Oh, so send the motion to show authority privately
A
too?
notice is what it's called when you're sending it privately to them. Same exact
Okay.
content.
Mm-hmm.
Notice, excuse me, notice of disqualification to the judge, notice of no authority to the attorney. If you're putting it on the case, I'm suggesting to make it a motion for judicial notice if you do put it on the case. If you do, like I said, our presenter today is suggesting not to. Okay?
Crap. I just did.
I would put it on the case because I want to fuck around and find out. But that's just me personally.
Well,
That's
that's
because you're an MC.
because I just put on the case. But do I not need to set a motion hearing to go in and force it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you put it as a motion, you have to set a motion hearing. If you send it as a notice, especially to the judge, it's said clearly it's automatic. You don't need a hearing. You don't need hearings for judicial notices either. Judicial notices don't require hearings.
The case is bogus from the initial jump.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
now,
privately do
remember
judicial
that?
notices. No, my bad. Go ahead, Miguel.
No, you good? Go ahead, Doc.
I was just repeating private notices. Notices for the private. If you're an MC, move the crowd with the motion or move the court.
Yeah, I don't want to do that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Yeah, correct. You're not going to do that. Malika's saying how she would. We're just hearing 2 different ways to have
But
shit.
the most important thing is the information. That is the main part of the technique.
Right.
It's not that because I suggest that even if it might end up on the case, I definitely agree with doing it first privately. Just like with the notice to show authority that we sent privately to the attorney. Joe is asking the question, but Joe already knows the power of sending those notices of notes. He's like, the attorneys disappear. He sent the motion, the notice. He just sent it as a notice. And the attorneys were disappearing. And he's like, well, what if I actually want them to answer? And we just could not stop laughing.
What if you put your motion? To me, when you put the motion on there, then you're getting the judge involved to oversee everything. You know what I mean? To where your actions are saying, you think the shit's real in the first place.
Gotcha.
When I say it's not real at all, right? The shit's it's quasi, right? You said that.
It's quasi, that's right.
So it's like real, but I'm not gonna fuck with you on your little record.
Right, I got you. And that's what Bobby
See,
talks
I-
about
I-
as well.
Now, what
Listen,
do
I
you
got this
think if you're
document.
pushing the matter versus being attacked?
But
Yeah.
that makes sense too. When Charles is talking about it, and the reason he's using it and suggesting to you as private notice, it's when we are acting as a defendant. And that's what I was trying to clarify. If I am the plaintiff, okay, I'm already in there. So I guess I'm sorry to confuse people. Charles is talking about it from a defense standpoint. You use it as a private notice. If I am the plaintiff and I need a judge in there for some of the preliminary motions, I would use it. That's when I would use it as a judicial notice. A motion, I should say, period. A motion. So if you're the defendant, you send private notices because that's when it really matters that it's quasi. So thank you for everybody who made it to this part of the call because this is where we're clarifying. Okay? You're defendant, private notice. You're bringing the case, motion, judicial notice. You have a magistrate or justice or whatever that's misbehaving, hammer their ass.
Especially
All Can we agree on that, Charles? Because Charles ain't a plaintiff. Charles is showing you. Charles is showing you how he kicks ass from defendant. That's why I was highlighting it.
so
Like that.
everybody in here
Go get your new car, right? Go ahead and put your lien on it real quick. Don't pay the note, right? Then fuck around and 15 USC 1692
How do you put the lien?
1692 IB, right? They can't make a legal action over a debt, right?
No authority.
And then the attorney part 2, 1692 E3 or 2, whatever it is. And then you got the disqualification.
But you guys heard what he said first. Go get you a car. He didn't say how you get in the car.
No, I'm saying you can go get the car like how you get the car.
Yeah, go get. That's what I tell people. Go get the car however you want to get. However you get cars.
He doesn't say how to do the lien either.
Hey, and then defend it.
Yes, I don't do lien. If I don't have to do a lien, because possession is 9/10 of the law. That's the reason why I don't bother with paper liens. If it's on my body, on my person,
But if you get caught,
you know it's mine. I don't have to put a piece of paper that says lien on this phone in my hand, lien
hear me
on my
out.
computer I'm using right here.
If you get caught slipping on the default month, the 3rd month, then you're gonna lose, right? Or they're just gonna take it, right?
They're gonna
On the
try
fifth-
to.
And then on the 5th and 6th month, they're gonna file it in the court. Now it's a
Are
civil
they?
suit.
Some of them don't file in the court. They just send a tow man after you.
Sometimes they'll do a writ of replevin in the court.
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm disqualifying that bullshit.
Yep.
So you're saying to lien to disqualify ahead of them doing whatever actions they try to put in.
Well, their lien is perfected when you make the first payment.
Yes, you have to make the first payment in order for their lien to be perfected. If you never make a payment, they don't have a lien either.
Right, because listen, the bank is the debt collector. So as soon as you capitulate or stipulate or whatever fucking word you want to use to agree with the paying the debt collector, guess what? You know what I'm saying?
So the first is a unilateral lien, all in favor of them. He's saying place another lien, so you've got a security interest on the record saying that, hey, wait a minute, this ain't unilateral. I've got possession and I've got a lien on it as my possessor interest of use.
Their lien doesn't perfect until the 30 days is up. After the first month,
So,
they give you.
are you talking about a common law mechanics lien?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm just
pretty much.
asking. When you say
Pretty much.
lien, you talking about a piece of paper lien?
You got to do the use. Can you do the UCC on there?
Man, you can just write up a piece of paper saying you've got an interest and then go put it on the county record. That's a lien.
That's basically all I'm saying. Is it a piece of paper that we putting on the county record?
Matter. The lien doesn't matter. Yeah, the lien matters if you get caught on the 3rd or the 4th and 5th month, right?
So put on the county record, my germs, and then
I don't understand. Okay,
A lien
most of
is
us
just a
have
piece
paid.
of paper. A lien is just a piece of paper that's saying that someone that is named has an interest in something that is also identified. Some people like calling it a UCC or whatever because the UCC one is just a notice of an interest. It's not the interest itself. But a piece of paper saying notice of interest is the same exact thing. Is everybody clear?
Mm-hmm. No, I am. No, I don't know about it.
It's a piece of paper saying expressing your interest in a thing that can be identified.
Hey, girl, you that thing I'm interested in.
Yeah, let me write your name on this UCC one, baby. We go together now. Right? But he's saying how to defend. It doesn't matter because me, like I told y'all, I'm not gonna put a lien. So if I get the car, I'm not gonna put a lien. But if they try to come after me, it's gonna be the same thing with the disqualifications. That's the point.
But he's saying get the car and don't make any payments. If you make a payment, you agreed. Most of us have already agreed to make payments. So what now?
Some people don't make payments I've heard, I haven't used it myself, but I saw my little brother use it and I assisted him utilizing 15 USC 1605 where people like, okay, well, here in this clause or whatever.
Kick me out.
Yeah,
Say
it's
that
kicking
again?
people out because we're at max again, guys. I'm glad you were able to get back in.
So, real quick, where was we at on that?
People are confused about how to get the car and how to get the lien. How to get the car, it don't matter how you get the car. Whether you go in there and you gave up their government information or you did some other way, you got the car. right? He's saying if you get the car now, don't make a payment. But people are confused because some people already have their car and they have
And we've
already
made
made
payments.
payments.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, if you already have it, cool.
Now,
You still
now,
got to
speaking,
defend, and it still don't
If you've
matter.
made
You're still
pay,
gonna have to decide: am I gonna put the paper in the county saying that it's mine, or am I not? It
Well,
doesn't matter even if you do. It's up to you to decide. But they're gonna still try to come after you with some court action. Is the point? Perhaps because some of them, in my opinion, they just send their the goons.
goons.
They just send the tow truck goons is what a lot of people are experiencing. They're not even
How do you
doing the
defend
court
against
action.
those people? How do you defend against the people that take your car? Like they tow it.
They just straight tow it, right?
I have
Yeah,
to.
if you don't have a
Okay.
garage, they do
Okay,
that. Like
so
if
let me
one-
show you what somebody just posted. I mean, I don't want to get into that, but I will
need a
show you.
warrant.
Someone go to lawfulliving.com and type in session. The most recent post was a guy who posted this morning, one of our friends-in-law. He actually posted the statutory application for California if they want to do a repo. And you're going to be surprised that you have to do it under the military statutes, literally Title 10 and Title 50.
Makes
They,
sense.
they make you do a certification, which of course will be false, which is why I was kind of laughing at it. Let me just show y'all right here. What is it? Repossession.
Yeah, it's like 4 posts for it.
So
But the most recent one, the one today,
Get it
I
done.
can't,
There's none for today. Hold on.
or yesterday.
No.
No, it says months ago actually.
it's there. It's 12.
Okay.
You put the link
Okay,
in
I
the
see
chat.
it. Equity.
So
It's under equities.
Oh, that's his name.
account.
Yes, equity.
Yeah.
I was just saying that shit about the
Still spelling it wrong.
I wanted everybody to know that the bank is the debt collector
Yes, that's the main point. The bank is the debt collector.
and the fucking dealer
It's
is
not the hashtag that's equity. It's the username. But I put
Correct.
the link in the chat.
Yeah,
It's
don't
like-
watch me, people. Just do what the girl said.
Yeah. And they spell repossession REPOSSESSION.
Okay, so they spelled it wrong. I'm trying to spell it right. But y'all see this? Certificate of repossession?
Correct.
It looks bigger before I open it up. But right here on the bottom, it says, I certify under penalties of perjury under the laws of California and the laws of the state. Okay, you see where it says Military and Veterans Code? And then they go straight to Title 50 of the United States Code. This is a certification document that's necessary to do a repossession in California. They have to have this if they're going to do a repossession in California. And if you're someplace else, more than likely the DMV, so this is where it came from, is going to have a similar form. The tow truck man has to have this. The most thing that's going to be relevant about the stuff with the cars is the toll laws themselves. This certification of repossession and the actual toll laws themselves, that's what you need to look into.
In Georgia, you have to fill out a form in the magistrate court for repossession.
This might be the same similar form because it's coming from the DMV.
And if they did,
They
Yeah,
gotta
they can't
file
just
it
refill the
somewhere.
Stuff. They have to go to a civil. And remember I talk about the ECFR, Malika? It tells you specifically if they don't file the complaint properly, according to Title 28, it's void anyway.
It's void.
Who's
That's
gonna
right.
sign that shit?
Right.
Yep.
But they can't take your property without a warrant anyway. God damn it.
That's right. So
Correct.
the most important thing for you to know is the toll laws. They're trying to use this as a certification because you see where it says under penalties of perjury, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to use this as the tow truck's affidavit, but they have to have it and you have to know it. But we're going to continue because I want the questions to be about the disqualification because we have Rima on the line and she's going to talk to us about her experience with getting a car.
Can I tell you one too, real quick?
Yes.
On the security interest, how can you give the bank security interest if you don't already own it?
And that's the same thing we were talking about on last
On the
week.
mortgages.
On the mortgages, right. Same thing we were talking about on the mortgage. You have to own the house in order to pledge it. You have to own the car in order to pledge it. So there has to be a step where the car becomes yours and the home becomes yours and the boat becomes yours before the
I take
closing.
credit. Yep.
I'm thinking it's the application. To me, it's seeming like the application. So as soon as you say, I want that, boom,
Yep.
it's yours. So this guy, our friend-in-law here that posted it, he's trying to use this form in order to claim the car off the lot, off the dealership lot. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but
Well,
I
that's
love
what
the
I
fact
was
that people are
saying.
trying to fuck around and find out.
Hold on, that's
Wouldn't
what I
he
was
need the
saying.
purchase order?
That
No,
might
that's
be
what I
it.
was
That's why I
saying.
was saying something that we did makes it ours before anything about financing and all that stuff.
I think
No
this is
signature
So
pay
is
for
it
it.
the purchase order? It might.
No,
Is it
it's
the
not.
application?
I know it's not because I've done it
Definitely
personally.
application.
Okay,
No, it
so
is.
let's hear
Signature
from
order.
Charles because he got a bike this way. Go ahead, Charles.
Well, I didn't get the bike, but I tried. So
Okay.
it was out of state.
Oh.
They emailed me the purchase order. I told them what I wanted, right? Delivery, all this, that, and third.
Shit, did he get kicked out again?
Probably.
Dude, I want to know if Charles used and I keep bringing it up on purpose, 15 USC 1605. That's what I want to know.
Finance charge.
There
Here
you
you
go.
go.
You talking about the finance charge?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So let me say this. The application.
Mhm.
Let me go back to the purchase order. Goddamn.
Gotcha.
So the purchase order.
Hold on, Charles,
did
before
it-
you talk about the purchase order, because if Reem is on here, I really want her to speak. Because it seems like she's a hair away from getting them to deliver her car to her. So I want her to speak on that, if that's okay with everybody else. I
Cool.
want to keep the
Most
questions that we're asking
definitely.
right now
Uh,
to the disqualification of the judge.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay?
I need that too.
So if you have any questions about the disqualification of the judge, please keep your hand up. If you do not have any questions about the disqualification of the judge, don't ask your question right now. But I appreciate the tenacity. I really do. All right, Champ, go ahead with your question and comment.
Okay, so now that I know that the judge holds a bar license and I can do the disqualification since, like we said, it's a conflict of interest, I am sending her a judicial notice, correct?
If you
You're
want
the
to do it in
defendant.
private.
You're the defendant. I would do
Yes.
it as a private notice like Charles suggested.
Champ
Oh,
still there?
what's going on?
Yeah, Champ's here. I'm here. Everybody's here.
No thing like cut out. Oh boy. So I do a private notice to the judge. Is that notice on lawful living?
We were just looking at it. You
Okay.
mean like how to actually, you just have to use those codes right that we went over just now.
Okay.
And you structure it the same way a motion is structured, even though you're sending it as a notice. It's just
Mhm.
so-and-so comes now to say that the judge should be disqualified and states in support. Point 1, point 2, point 3. Wherefore, the judge is now automatically disqualified. Period.
Now,
Verified. Yeah, I say under penalties of perjury, under the laws of God, blah, blah, blah. Sign it. Send it.
okay, I came in right when you guys were talking about the tax evasion. Are you mentioning the tax evasion in that same notice or no?
No, you just report it to the IRS.
I would definitely say to watch this video from the beginning
Okay.
and look at the codes that we went over.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
gotcha.
just read the paper. It's in there.
All right. Thank you for your questions and your patience, guys. Yeah, go ahead with your question, comment, or emotional outburst.
Hey guys, emotional outbursts today is that I think these judges are jerks. Like they're just idiots at this point. I've had enough of them. I filed a judicial
Yeah.
complaint against
Agreed.
one particular person acting as a judge in the case that my sister had, and then they came back and said this person is not a judge. So are you kidding me? I said they said
That's
this
even
person
better.
is not a judge. I was like, okay. So I'm a little stumped at that whole response. I did not expect to get that response. I was
I
would
would definitely send a notice to that man or woman impersonating a judge with telling them that they're going to be held notice of liability intent to sue for impersonating.
He's a
Yeah, no.
contract administrator.
Yeah, so that was something within itself. But that was my emotional outburst. Just that, yo, it's crazy out here, man. This is the craziest thing
That's
I've
so
seen.
weird. That's so
These-
weird.
These courts
They
are.
are gonna be sued.
out?
Because she went to make a judicial complaint. The person
I
has to
made judicial
exist in the
complaint.
system.
And they was like, we don't know nobody. And I was like, so I called to make sure I was, I wasn't receiving the wrong information. It was like, nah, that person's not in our system. And, they asked me some questions and I began to explain the situation. They was just like, well, you got to go back and contact the agency because that person is not considered a judge, so we can't take a complaint for them.
Because he
Well, I
works
was
for
like,
the
that's
IRS,
fine.
Samaya.
He got caught sitting down with no oath and shit.
Yeah, so that was fine. But Charles, here's my question I have for you. In the beginning you stated with this notice, I just want to be clear, we don't have to file these tax forms in order for this notice to work, right? Because I know in the beginning you stated that you filed like a couple of forms and all this.
No, you do not have to file any tax forms in order for it to work.
Do in lieu of do the same thing, right, with the IRS forms before I structured that the shit we're going on, right? Because it's the same thing.
He's saying he did the same thing using the IRS forms, but it's not the form that matters. It's the information.
Right.
That's what we keep saying over and over again. You can use the forms if you wish, but if you don't have the right information, the form is not the magic.
Worthless.
No, how are you going to use the right information when you can't understand that any man can be a fucking contract administrator? You're hung up on a judge. I mean, I just don't understand where the misconnection is here. The county can hire anyone at any time to administer contracts.
Let's make a deal. Come on down.
Well, I think it is, Bobby, that they play us like all of us are under.
No, you're playing yourself.
You know,
You're getting hung up on the
Playing with them. You're playing with them.
That's why I said you can do an in lieu of IRS
That's
form.
why everybody is here to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do any IRS forms. I just want the clarification on that whole point because he said it at the very beginning, but then he stopped. I don't want to do any of
Yes,
that.
because I asked him how he conquered his first one, and of course his first one was using the forms, but that's not the main point. Is not the forms. The main point is the disqualification of the people that are attempting to act in a fiduciary capacity on your behalf, listing you as a defendant without delegation of authority from yourself, which would be your consent to be sued.
Yeah, consent. Yeah, I know we're all here to learn, folks, but we can't nail down and get full clarity of what a judge is and what a contract administrator is before we move on to another issue. And nobody still knows what a contract administrator is and what a judge is. That's the point. Keep jumping around.
So would it be safe to say, since my judge is not a bar member, he's a contract administrator?
Yes, there's only two types of law, guys. There's tort, meaning somebody hurt someone, and there's contract.
Right.
The problem that we're having is it's not tort because they don't never have an injured party. In order to have an injured party, they would have to be a man or listed as the plaintiff, even if there is also a fictitious entity. A man would have to be there. If all you see is a fictitious entity there, it is absolutely 100% contract administration.
Yes,
Got that. So based upon what it is that Charles is bringing forth today, if I have a non-bar member and the plaintiff in my eviction was not a bar member, would this still play? I understand that they were supposed to do the taxes or inform.
Did they have your express written consent to be sued?
I got that, but I'm talking about as far
Yes
as
or
the
no?
actual disqualification. No, absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
so since they did not have your consent to be sued, they're attempting to act in a fiduciary capacity.
Gotcha.
This is all applicable.
So what's it matter if they're a bar member or they done their taxes? That don't even concern me because I'm not applicable to any of those privy to those informations.
Nor are you fulfilling
only
the
reason
obligation
that
of the contract.
So the reason why I'm saying that is because in the definition, it talked about you being a member of an association.
Not you.
No, not me. I'm saying as far as the judge is concerned. So I could totally get it if this is a bar member who's in an association and there's a bar member on the other side.
But that only speaks to their conflict of interest in that area.
Right. And so that was key to the disqualification just
Not
based on what we
necessarily.
read.
No,
Okay,
Not
got it.
necessarily.
Okay.
It's two different issues
right.
that
The
are
key,
related,
the key
but
I
you
is
got
can
they
it.
have to.
absolutely have one without the other.
The key is to initiate the case and open an account in your name. They have to get permission from the Treasury or your conduct, right?
Or your
Got it.
conduct.
And any man can try to do that. That's what the word trial means. And try, TRI, because he's crying that he can do something because he's got the right to unlimited contract. So he can bring gossip into the court without being a fucking thing. He don't have to be a contract administrator, a judge, or anything. He can do exactly what you do. It doesn't matter. But you just got to know that he's trying. He's trying. He's testing you. He's tempering you.
He's pretending to be.
And if by the conduct, it has to be in an extremely specific place, done to extremely specific people during
The-
extremely specific hours.
Yeah, but the offer can be made to anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Right.
And they don't
And
care
what we're
who show up
doing,
to accept it.
right.
Bingo.
Yeah,
right
but
there.
they using state law though, man. They're also administrators. They're acting as they're administrators of state law. You see, but then I go and I find out from the state that they not. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's a problem for me.
Right. Remember
you
when
go
we
there
got
like
down
in the
here,
state.
we said right here, the contract clause state that they cannot use state statutes.
Exactly. So
So
disqualify that ass.
yeah, like I said before, they're just acting until you get there in your conduct, and then they flip it right in your pants. Shit, it's really that simple.
Mm-hmm.
All right. B.
Okay.
Aston, go ahead with your question, comment, or emotional outburst.
No, I just want to know if you had any contact for me. I have a couple cases going on coming up soon, and I just needed a little bit assistance. I think I was going about things all the wrong way.
Yeah, more than likely. If you're saying you have a couple of cases, I would definitely go back to the beginning of this call and listen to it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Legally attractive. Did you get your question, comment? I know you've been doing some emotional outbursting.
Yeah, so I got it together. That's exactly what I needed to know. Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Am woman, you're up again.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so quick question. In the case of like I didn't know how to do any of this stuff, back when they were trying to bring me in for collections and stuff. So so is there any way, like basically what I'm asking is to, bring them up on to like fix, could I just do a federal suit, or would it be something where I would disqualify the judge, like what you're talking about here, even though technically they did their little thing and, they
So would
ruled
this be a
against.
a federal rules of a 60 to void the judgment?
Oh, but it was county court.
There's a county
That's still
equivalent
void
always. It's
judgment.
the same void judgment. Just look it up.
Okay.
State void judgment. It
Yeah.
might even be similar because they love to do stuff like that. Like in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
the rule for need for firsthand knowledge is still the same rule 602.
And if it's a
Okay.
debt, 1692 IB.
Okay.
Yeah, 1692 IB. It says they can't bring a claim that they don't have an
Illegal act.
authority to bring a claim.
Can't bring illegal.
Okay.
You know what? I think you actually put that in your notice notice of no authority to that group of people. Did you not?
Yeah.
She had
It's
that in
probably in
there.
there. The idiots.
I just finished my counterclaim because Synchrony Bank tried to come for me about how I owed them for my windows. And what you may want to check the account number, because what I noticed is when they sent me my statement for under their exhibit, their account number under this with the statement that they sent was 2126. And when I went back through all of my statements, my account number was 2280. So I
Ooh.
was like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know if this is their off ledger thing, and the statement
Right.
said it was charged off. So you may want to
Right.
double check the account number from the statement that they have on the record with the papers that they sent the court or whatever versus what you have. I'm just saying.
Charge off. If you want to do the credit, that's 15 USC
Yeah.
1681 12 AI1, whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
because if they've charged it off, then use that as your exhibits too. Because a charge off, you definitely. I mean, you don't owe them anyway, but if it's a charge off, you definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just asked him what property. I mean, what did you put up? What capital did you use? Uh, in our transaction, right? Because a charge off means you lost something. So what did you lose? And
What
then
the-
the-
Yeah, I would definitely say to look into the relief statute, similar to 60 of the rule 60.
Okay. I'm just wondering if I.
Still there?
Yeah, I didn't know if I interrupted you.
Yeah, you're right.
She's thinking about doing the disqualification, trying to think if it might be
Yes,
relevant
right.
to a case for debt collectors when she has already given them their notice of no authority.
Right.
So they just
Privately,
kept rolling.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it works for everything because
Yeah.
everything is court, even going to the so-called
See right there,
car
the
dealer,
judgment is void.
all court.
Yeah.
The judgment is void. We know the judgment is void because the court never had subject matter jurisdiction. Why did the court not have subject matter jurisdiction? They never got the from the treasury, and it makes it great. It's a debt. They never got their permit. The judge never got their delegation of authority from the treasury.
Right. To administer shit. Nigga, that's my person.
Yeah, come take it. Okay. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do I do? I just put that in as a notice, like a private notice to all of them, or
Again, it's up to you if you want to make it a private notice. I would put it
But
on the
you
record.
about to close. You talking about the old debt collection, though, right? So it's not an
yes.
case.
When they
It's
tried
not
to
just
put
the
me as a
old debt collection,
defendant.
it's actually a case. It wasn't just them sending her letters. They made it a case. In violation of 1692I, they made it a case.
But she's saying it's already done. Okay. So we can still just go put stuff on the record in that case.
Of course. It's an account and they have to keep it open because what is the statute of limitations on subject matter jurisdiction?
There is
none.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
This is awesome. Joe, it's up to you again.
So what up? I was wanting to ask about because in the case that I put in the federal, I just I wasn't trying to put up with their bullshit. I tried to disqualify the judge, and he sent my shit back. So I went ahead and went to the appeal, but now I feel like they dragging this shit out. I don't know why.
They're trying to
figure,
help their friends because they can't answer you.
He's avoiding service.
Yep.
I would wonder. Yeah,
No, it's already. It's in the appeal. It's already in the appeal. What I'm saying is they ain't moving. I'm trying to figure, is there a way I can get them to move for real?
That's why I don't do appeals. I'll just resue them.
I should have just added the judge to the case.
That's another reason why we do counterclaims and add the judge acting in the case because they cannot rule on a case in which they're a party.
Put shit on my plate.
All right. So I don't want to keep going back over the same questions. Is Rima still on here? I thought I just heard her speak.
The bad Lucille.
Yes, I'm still on here.
All right, girl. Let us know what you're here to share.
Okay, so wait, you want to start with the car, the land grant?
Let's do the car stuff, and then we'll talk about the land stuff.
Okay. The Tesla thing has been a very long journey. So, this week I got a call from Wilson, Sosimi, and they have some other names.
Okay, so let me just give the people a little bit of background before you jump right in. So, Rima was one of our students in the Money Talk class. The focus of the Money Talk class was to do a process. Of course, Money Talk, you can do it on anything, but one of the biggest things that most people want is a new car. So that was our bullseye target, to get yourself a new car. Using the comprehension that we go over in Money Talk of not only what money is, but also understanding the Bill of Exchange Act and other things like that, which is what we went over and go over in the class. And I want to say something about the class. People come on and they're like, all the videos are old. None of the information we're going through is brand new. Most of the information we're going over is like from the beginning of time immemorial. So it's not about, oh, you made this video last year or 2 years ago or even 3 years ago, because we're basing it on principles that will never change.
Hashtag stop bitching and take notes.
Yeah, stop bitching, watch all the videos. Rima, she said, it's been a long journey, but I just want to qualify that in that we are pioneering something here. We all know that we can do the pump and dump. We all know we can walk into the car dealership, give them so-called social security numbers and credit, Apple credit check shit. We all know we can do that. We all know that we could clear everything off our credit. I did it in my 20s. I bought 2 cars and a house. I already know how to do that. I'm done with that. Y'all, if y'all Google my real name, they even tell you how much I sold the house for. Damn. But we're done with that, because all of that is making us pretend to be agents, pretend to be trustees, fiduciaries that are technically responsible for tax and all this other bullshit. And we want to exercise our dominion using the rules that are already laid out for us, right? For them as well, letting them know when we show up, give us our shit. So go ahead, Rima.
Big Pip.
Yeah, and I just want to say this, like when I first started with this, like I was really fairly new to this, and then Malika probably doesn't remember, but when I was talking to her about this on this platform, like she kind of laughed at me, and not in like an embarrassing way or anything, but she's just like, you got a lot more to learn, okay? So, you have a lot more to go. So we are here a whole year so much later. So I have learned, I have perfected some things, and I have been patient. Anyway, yes. So with the whole Tesla process, back in August, applied or put another deposit on for the Tesla because, like Malika was saying during the money talks thing, I did it back then, but I was new to that, so I didn't go any further with it. And I picked it back up this time around back in August because I felt like I was ready. So, again, I did a $250 deposit, built the car out. I gave them a promissory note, an assignment based on their trust indenture and everything. I sent it to the trustees of Tesla, which was US Bank, because in their trust indenture, you either send it to Tesla and CC Wilson Sonsini, which is the law firm that the trust indenture has, or you just go ahead and send it to the trustees, which is US Bank. So I sent it to US Bank. So when Tesla told me that my car was ready, that's when I started contacting US Bank about, hey, has what's going on with everything. But the person who I had attentioned it to, because of what the trust indenture said, retired. So I got in touch with somebody else. They forwarded my information to who they thought was supposed to be forwarded to, but he could only help me so far because I guess US Bank was going through some changes, and he couldn't see who had the Tesla account. So it was kind of like a dead end. So what I decided to do was then send my paperwork to Tesla and CC Wilson and Sonsini. So
Wilson, etc., is the law firm for Tesla.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, so that first go round, by the time the car was at Tesla, they held it for like 7 days, but because I still couldn't get in touch with anybody, they let it go, and they wound up reissuing me. They said that they'll reissue me a VIN number when it's ready. So between that time, what I did was, and we just got finished mentioning like the UCC stuff. I looked up Tesla's UCC, and I actually wound up doing a UCC as well and used Tesla's UCC as my exhibit. And that UCC1 financing statement, I look at it more so as a financial statement. I'm an accountant, so sometimes I think I have to think a little different about stuff. So when you're looking at these companies, if you find any of these companies UCCs, like Tesla, Capital One, whoever, they're always going to be the debtor. And a government entity, or maybe their trustee, is going to be a secure party. So because they're the debtor, which is the debit to me, on my UCC, I'm going to put myself as the my trust in that case as the debtor, and put Tesla as a secure party, which is the credit. So it's going to offset, if that makes sense. To every debit, there's a credit. So if they're the debit, so if they're the debtor on theirs, make them the creditor or the secure party on yours, if that makes sense. So, and then I did an assignment on a UCC3, and then
what did you assign? What on the UCC3? What was being assigned?
I did an amount. So on the UCC1, what did I write on there? Like the promissory notes, or I did the.
Was it the note that was being assigned? Was it the VIN number that was being assigned? Was it both of them? What was being assigned?
It was the VIN number. It was the account number. I did an amount, but on the UCC1 I did a negative, because on their purchase agreement it's a positive, so you offset it with their negative, right? And then because it's also a bookkeeping, it's a bookkeeping thing.
Right.
So
hold on a second. Let's clarify. So they are the creditor that extending you credit because they bought the purchase. They're on the hook as the debtor for the production. So as they turn from the production holding debtor to the United States, that you come to them as wanting something from them. So now they are the creditor to you, and they pass the production to you in a negative way. So the positive and a negative cancel out each other, and you get the production, and they go back to a zero balance per that one itemized production. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yep. And yeah, and also on their UCC in the collateral section, it says all rights, interest, whatever, and then it has the non-negotiable, negotiable instruments, promissory notes, whatever. It has all that. So yeah, so when these companies say we don't take that form of payment, yeah, that's BS, because you do. Not only does your trust indenture have it, but your UCC has it as well.
They're basically saying we don't want to collect it from you.
Yes, because it's a zero-sum game. It's a zero-sum game when they're serving the people and not serving legal customers, because that's where the percentile, the overage is that they're trying to capture.
But when they serve us, they can do tax write-offs because they're getting their tax credits from us, from our existence.
Sure, but if they're already on the backside in their secret trust listed as charity donations to serve the people, they're not concerned about taxes.
Got it.
So, and then on the UCC3, I wrote I did an assignment, and in that collateral section, I did it like I wrote it out like a check. So it was paid to the order of Tesla. Yeah, it was paid.
Ooh,
So technically I gave him two negotiable instruments, right? Oh, hold on, I gotta go outside because my nephew just came in. Hey, hold on.
Malika don't want to hear that.
I know.
That's the same thing she said to me, Charles, before she said it all over.
I know.
Hey, I've been telling you about the fucking endorsement for a goddamn year now.
Oh, Crasher, come back. Hold on, my dog. Crasher, come on. Hold on, my dog just ran out of the house. Come on, Crasher.
Doggone.
Come on.
Yeah, the dog is gone.
Come on. No, come on. No, he got a snack.
The dog's out.
He got a snack. He came back in.
Somebody did endorsements. Somebody did endorsements.
What I told What I asked you
Uh-huh.
when you told me, oh, so and so got their 1099-A approved. What I asked you, Charles?
Now you're getting on topic.
Nah, you know what I'm talking about. What I say?
Now you're going on topic.
Okay, go ahead, Rima.
Yeah, so yeah, like I
Me
said,
and
I wrote
Charles
it
be
out like a
arguing with
check.
each other loud.
I wrote it out like a check, and then I did like I did a check number. I signed it and
Is this the
everything. I
form
did a
here that we're looking at?
yes. I'm trying.
That's
Yeah,
the
This is a
that's
3.
the UCC. That's a 3. Yeah, I checked assignment. Yeah, that's an
You checked
assignment.
assignment.
What did I endorse?
yeah.
So in the collateral section, think of like visually think of a check.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
know
So where
how to do it. I
Oh,
know
so
how to
where
do it.
you sign, so on the
Right here.
lower right hand corner,
Oh, okay.
You see right
like
here?
a check. On the lower right hand corner,
Uh-huh.
like
Pay
a
to the
check.
order of.
That's where I signed it, just like a check.
Okay.
And
Good.
then
And what did you say that it was? Did you check one of these? Collateral
I said
change, add collateral,
assign
assign collateral.
Uh-huh.
What's a
So
negative amount?
I didn't do a negative amount because remember on the UCC one there's a negative amount.
Ah, yeah, okay, got you.
So on this one it's the positive amount. And like on a check on the bottom where you have the routing number and the account number. So
Yes.
my routing number was the back of the social, the number on the back of the social, and
That's a
the
GSIB
account
number.
and and the account number was the birth certificate number.
So y'all see
Uh-oh.
why I'm not gonna ever do this. Everybody can already see why I will never do this process. I'm just letting her
It's just-
share because some
That's
of
the
y'all
file
might
number?
want to fuck around and find out. But go ahead.
That's
Doc.
Yeah, I'm not endorsing this. I'm just saying this is I'm not
This is a
That's the-
strategy
Oh.
she's
on your
using.
birth
This is-
certificate, it's the file number, right?
Huh? Yes.
On your birth certificate, it's the file number.
Huh?
Right. So that social and that birth certificate make the individual, right?
Yes.
Which is 2.
Well, that's the rank and file.
So
It's a lie.
oh no, wait, no. Hold on. No, that wait, yes. Yeah,
So
hold on.
the routing
Yes.
number is the back of the social, you say?
Yeah, the
Yes,
QSIP,
it
it
is.
has a letter and 8 numbers. The letter
Yeah,
is for one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks.
This is not a
Mhm.
SPC stuff, guys. Stop saying SPC. She's not using SPC. She's using a
This
trust.
doesn't
She's
different
using a trust. She's using a
Yeah.
trust,
agriculture.
guys. She's using a 98 trust, right?
No, this is it's an 80. It's an 80.
A 88 trust?
89.
A
80
89
80
trust. There you guys go.
88, 89, it's 80 something.
I think it's
It's one.
89.
It's one.
No,
It's an irrevocable. It's a
Virtual, right?
Yeah, agricultural with all hands and legs. How is this it's no different. If they can do it, why it seems reasonable we could.
I'm not the reason that Malika is not gonna do it, and this is me and Rima spoke about this before, and that's why I really just want her to get what she's saying out, and I don't want to interrupt too much. But I don't mind using the UCC that they created to say, here it is, it's already done. I don't know what else y'all gonna need, but take it off of whatever this paper is. That's what Malika would do, because I don't have this stuff. I can't do with what I don't have, right? So go ahead, Rima.
I have a delegation.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's what I did. And I used Tesla's UCC as my exhibit. Right. And the rest of the paperwork that's behind it. So, so I sent that the second go around. I sent all of that paperwork, to US Bank again. I sent it to, Wilson Sonsini and Tesla.
And remember,
was
it's going to US Bank because on the SEC, US Bank is listed as the trust indentured trustee for Tesla Corporation.
Correct. And so now this was back in October then. So now we're in October, right? So let's fast forward to this week.
Yes.
I just am now hearing from Wilson Sonsini.
The
And
attorneys for Tesla Corporation.
yes, who is also on their trust indenture that it says to CC if you have sent your documents to Tesla. So, it says attention, John 4. John 4 is retired because I looked him up. And on Wilson Sosimi's website, it says retired, but I put successors and assigned on there. So when her name is Maria, when Maria called me this week, she said, hey,
From Tesla's law firm is calling her, guys. Listen up.
She said, hey, this is Maria from Wilson Sosimi. How are you doing today? I said, oh, I'm doing great. How are you? She said,
Here, happy 2020.
yeah, Happy New Year. I said, I just I just want to let you know that we received your documents, and I just want to let you know that the attorneys have been very impressed with the research that you have put in and you have sent to us. So I said, oh, thank you. So she said, yeah, she said, we had to send it to John, the attorney that you attentioned it to. But he's retired. I said, yeah, I know. That's why I put successors and assigns, because I saw that on your website. She said, right. She said, now he said that your note, she said, because this is for a car, and this is for your Tesla. I said, yes. She said, first, do you have your Tesla? And I said, no, I do not have it yet. And she said, okay. She said, well, he said that the notes are not for the purchase of a car, it's for public bonds. So and he's not incorrect about that, right? Because the car and the note are not of like kind, right? But you do the note, and then you monetize, you liquidate it, and that is of like kind, so I can get the car. So I didn't go into detail with her about that. I just wanted to listen to what else she had to say.
Could you repeat?
So
Could you repeat what he said about the bond? The car was the bond. Is that what he's saying?
no, he's saying that the note,
The promissory
not-
note itself cannot be exchanged directly for the car because it's not of like kind.
Okay.
Yeah, he's saying he said it's not for purchase of a car. He
It's
said
not
a
for
public
purchase
bond.
of a car. The notes are not for purchase of a car. It's for public bonds.
Okay, so that goes back to what we talked about when you walk into the bank. They separate the note from the signature. The promissory note goes and handles the internal accounting, and then the note gets attached to it, and that's what you're on the hook for, because the company debt scripts have already been settled, because everything has to balance to zero on their side, and the note is continuing. That's the mort pledge. That's the civil mortise. Does that make sense?
It don't make sense to me.
Well, because here's the thing, like, you take the note and you do whatever. It's not my business what you do with the note. I just want the car.
Right.
I don't care what you do with the note.
Same.
But the note, and however you get the credits or the money, whatever, that's your business. That is of like kind.
Right.
I just want the car. So when you get that, and just give me the car.
Right.
So they're just saying they're on the right paper that they're used to seeing, basically.
Yeah, right. So you can say to them, I've already started this process because I've tried to do your job for you, because I can't find the man that's supposed to be handling these accounting affairs that I don't have a delegation authority to do. I want the production as a people, and I want to be furnished with the production to people. So find me the man that can handle this. If these fucking attorneys are so impressed, let one of them do the work.
That's what I'm saying. But go ahead, darling. Finish it. That's a very important revelation. They're telling you these promissory notes themselves are not transferable directly for cars.
Yep.
They're only for public bonds.
Internal accounting. All productions, once it's produced, once the production is produced, one has nothing to do with the other because the one has to be animated by live people, live works, and the other has to be animated by agents and agency doing dead works. That's why they keep.
So you might as well just do the paperwork and do the endorsement on it, on both of them, right?
Let's see what the attorney says. Go ahead and finish.
The
Rima.
application and,
So-
and the paper, finance paper.
So anyways, I said, so I told her, I said, look, I said, I've been trying to contact somebody because
That's not me, y'all, right? Okay, so I hear
No,
voices.
it's not. Okay. I was just trying to make sure what she was saying, who the attorneys was. Wilson Sosini. I just wanted to know.
Sonimi or something. She sent it to me in text.
Social
Yeah, we can hear you now,
media.
Rima. Go ahead and finish your story.
okay, yeah, Wilson Sonsini, SONSIMI. So anyways, I told her, I said, look, I've been in contact with Bradley from US Bank, and she said, okay, it was almost like she knew who Bradley was, but it could have been because I mentioned him in my notice as well. Because
Right.
I put him up with, I was like, hey, I've been in contact with Bradley from US Bank. I told her, and I put the email back and forth from Bradley in my notices that I sent them to. So, and I told him, I said, when I contacted somebody, when I finally got in contact with somebody from Texas, and they said, was, oh, well, we only accept checks, money orders, cashier's checks, and all that other stuff, right? So I said, well, when I told them, I just need to speak to somebody from your legal department, but they never were able to actually get me in contact with anybody from their legal department. So I said, and they can't tell me. I said, the promissory notes is also legal tender. So you can't, I said, so Tesla can't discriminate which kind of legal tender that they pick and choose to take. You can't tell me that you take this form of legal tender, but not this form. If you take legal tender, you take it all. So she said, okay. So I said, it's just, I'm kind of at a dead end at this point. She said, okay. She said, well, again, we're very impressed with, the research that you put into this stuff and your documentation.
I said, your attempt.
Yeah. And she said, here's what we're going to do. She said, it's going to take more time. She said, so if you can give us a week or two. And I was like, oh, that's not long. She was like, well, you've waited long enough and you still don't know
Yeah,
what's
we have.
wrong.
We've waited
So
long
she said,
enough.
we're going to look. So she said, I'm going to take this back to my team and we're going to review it. So she said, I'm going to give you my contact information and then I'm also going to give you Mark Pound's information. He's general counsel. He does not have your paperwork yet. She said, because if me and my team cannot come to the conclusion, a resolution about your paperwork, then we send it to Mark, who's general counsel, and he makes a decision over it. So she said that, I'll give you his contact information, but just please know he does not have your information yet. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So she gave me her information and his information. And yeah, that was it. I told her, thank you for your time. I really appreciate her taking the time to talk to me.
So
about
let's
this.
go over. Thank you for that, Rima. Let's go over when she says, I have your paperwork. What exactly are the documents they should have in front of them?
They should have the original paperwork that I sent.
The original what?
The original paperwork I sent.
Oh,
to
what is
US
it
Bank.
when you say paperwork?
That
A
is
note, a bill of exchange? What is it?
So the notice that I sent originally to Paula Oswald at
Hold
US
on,
Bank,
hold on. Are you saying note or notice?
Well, first, the whole package is, I'm going through the whole package.
Okay, so tell us what's in the whole package.
The whole package is first is the notice to Paula Oswald at US Bank that is telling her to settle the account.
Okay, so the
Right.
first thing is a notice to the trust indenture. Yes?
Yep. Yes.
But this is
Yes.
after you've already gone online and you built the car out and you paid the first $250 and you got the purchase agreement.
Correct. Correct.
Did you endorse the purchase agreement?
No, I I endorsed the documents from the trust indenture. So, but I'm
Okay.
not there yet.
Okay, so
Like,
you have a
wait a
notice to
minute,
the
wait.
trust indenture, the trustee. Okay, and what's
Yes.
the next thing in the package?
The next thing in the package is the documents from the trust indenture. So, and that's the restricted notes legend. That's the assignment form. That's in the certificate of whatever.
So
And
that's
there's
the
a few.
trust indenture itself. That's off the SEC website.
Yes, that you send to them with the medallion stamp and the signature, your signature, signatures from the bank, and your trust information with the EIN and your address and all that
Right.
stuff.
So that what's the difference between that and the social though? Right?
It's not. There's no
It's
difference.
not. There's
She's
no
just telling
difference
you what
because
she used because she used the trust number.
yeah, because on that assignment form it says SSN or EIN, so you can use either one. It doesn't matter.
Right, right.
So and then I had the purchase agreement on
Right.
the in within there as well, right? And then um I also had the correspondence, the emails from Bradley that I was emailing Bradley back and forth.
Bradley is with the trust indenture, U.S. Bank.
Because Paula Oswald is retired. Everybody retired. Tesla's trust indenture is outdated. The people who they have on the trust indenture, it's from 2017. They haven't updated it.
Okay. But this is so basically your package is the notice to the trust indenture itself with the necessary parts filled out, and the purchase agreement. Those are the three main things, the three main documents you created in your packet.
Let's not forget promissory note.
You did the promissory note?
Yes.
The trust is allowed the trust is allowed to draft up instruments just like a bank. So as a trust in the indenture, she can draft the promissory note herself. She doesn't have to accept somebody else's promissory note, and she doesn't have to use another certificate in lieu of. She can draft her own, and that's what she did. That's an important element.
Okay, so
And
these four things here.
And Keith helped me with the whole key.
With what?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Keith, she's giving you a shout out, but because you're fading in and out, and he's like, "What?" And so everybody else is hearing you shout him out, and he.
Oh yeah, Keith helped me with this. So I was like, "Hey, Keith." So
This is one of the gals I hope you guys pay attention to. She is throughout my research, she's right at their tops with Malika in regards to doing her work and follow up to make a success. Please pay attention. She's a queen.
That's so nice. Oh, that's so nice. But I got a long way to go before I reach Malika's status.
You're doing just great.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, the person who I was emailing at U.S. Bank sent those emails. I printed out those emails. I printed out my UCCs and Tesla's UCCs as well and sent it.
Okay, so I'm just looking for the instruments themselves mainly. So your UCC, the 3 or the 1 or both?
Both.
Your UCC 1 or UCC 3, and then a copy of Tesla's UCC.
Yes.
Was it their
And I
just
would also
UCC 1
recommend-
or was it their UCC 3 as well?
They have both. They have a UCC 1 and they have a continuation UCC 3 because they moved to Austin, Texas.
I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to know if in your packet, since you did your own UCC 1 and 3, if you included Tesla's UCC 1 and 3 as well, or
I sure did. I sure did.
okay, so
And
you
I
included
also
their UCC 1 and their UCC 3.
Uh-huh.
And I would recommend as an afterthought to do a UCC 11.
Oh.
Now that's just to check to see if there's any liens, right?
Correct. Do that first, and then do your UCC 1 and UCC 3. This is just to make sure you're covering all your bases.
That's interesting because Florida doesn't have UCC 11 search.
Yeah,
they
this
have
is
to.
it's because it's just a form, which is what we keep trying to drive home. The process is still going to be there, even if they don't have the form. It's going to go to the
Take
same
another
either
state's
Department of
form.
Commerce and or Department of Revenue or something like that.
Yeah, you can use another state's form under Article 4, Section 4.
But
Okay,
to
cool.
be clear, the notice to the trust indenture, is there specific verbiage that it needs to have?
I
General,
mean, you need to look. Whatever trust. I can't tell you that. You just need to read the trust indenture and see if there's, because you just gotta follow directions. That's all I'm saying. Like, if the trust indenture says this to do something, it says, hey, you need to write this heading and you need to do it. So I mean, I can't tell
Yeah,
you
you
that.
got to
You just
look at
need
the
to.
trust
You
indenture
gotta look
and they'll tell you what to say and who to say it to.
and how to send it. They'll tell you exactly how it needs to be sent too. So it gives you explicit directions on stuff. So you gotta follow directions. Um so that's my answer. That's my answer to that. But yeah, so and then I sent them, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And then what I sent with Tesla, uh well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Anything I sent to Tesla on the same, I put Tesla's name and address, and then underneath I put CC Wilson Sosimi. So they got the same. They got the same.
And the reason she did that, guys, is because those are the directions in the Trust Indenture Act. That's why it's important for you to pull that up.
Mm-hmm.
And another important thing here is the fact that there's a thing called holder in due course. In trust actions, a holder in due course is anybody that holds an instrument that can provide a directive. So as a beneficiary or benefactor, you can get a record, amend it, and then resubmit it to a trustee. And the way that works is that the beneficiary has the ability to dismiss a trustee. The beneficiary also has the ability in his own trust to act as co-trustee and give a directive to the other co-trustee. And this is what's not happening. People in these trust actions aren't declaring themselves as a benefactor or beneficiary allowed to make that amended record. And that's what the promissory and trust indenture is all about. So you can make that assignment to the banker as the other trustee to commit to the transactions.
So you can use the social. You can use the social and do the same shit.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
sounds like you have to be that older to make that directive.
Yeah.
I always like to hear how people are doing it because, of course, I'm going to try to render it down to what is the minimum absolute necessity. So
Right, that's lawful notice.
exactly. So these things right here, for my personal process, I won't be doing. But I might still communicate with whoever they name in a trust indenture for my lawful notice to them.
Right, that's clarifying that you're the beneficiary or benefactor.
So
you have no place as a trustee.
Right.
Correct. Without any more, some of those mores out there doing those processes. That's why, and the difference and the distinction from a U.S. national, which is an agent, and someone who's a Moorish American national could do the minimum also, which
Right.
is showing that, hey, this is airship that's being utilized with those that are Moorish American nationals being beneficiaries, not to be mistaken with any other type of national, and doing the bare minimum notice does have the same effect. So that's why I'm listening and I can see that certain things that are being done, I agree with. However, we're tax non-obligated. So not to use a so-called tax identifying number that would be the key. You would want to keep it as small as offer, acceptance, deliver it here type shit.
Right.
By you.
Basic amnesty. Basic amnesty. That's all it is.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's the problem. It's not being lawfully noticed. It's being legally applied because of the enumeration that's being applicated.
Correct. And that's why the nationality status, even though I don't particularly amend to it, it does work because it's declaring a different nationality. It's declaring a different set of laws.
Yes.
Do you guys see this right here?
Hold on a second.
Do you guys see what this says right here?
International Association of Commercial Administration.
Yes, it's important what Keith just said because you're taking it out of the local contract administration, and she's trying to move it into international law. So negotiable instruments can be adhered to.
It's not a
because-
matter of moving it into international law. It is.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
already
correct.
is. I
But
mean,
he
it
just-
says it
Yeah.
right there on the
Right.
form.
Okay, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you read Daniel's negotiable instruments, it tells you,
trade.
it tells you that negotiable instruments is all of customs and usages. There's no law that is on the books that says negotiable instruments have to do this, this, and this. It's all by what has been done before and what people can adhere to what has been done before. So it's always an evolving thing of what accepted paper is to be negotiable on that international level. He says it right in that book.
Well,
In
legal
agreement
tender
with that,
today
that's
is
why
the
in the Telegram group I put those 2 trust documents, and then I yield, Keith. I put those 2 trust documents just for concept correction purposes without having a trust with the state. But the Vice Concise Trustee Handbook, half of it is what, and the other half is how. And then the ABC Common Law Trust to see what someone would do if they would just write up something that's just theirs amongst their own family without state purview. Are you?
Okay, one thing to say about that though, Hassan, is we got to remember the dates of them books because after 1933 money change, also did the acceptance of the negotiable paper change. So some of the way they were doing practice and customs and usages of those negotiable papers on the international level also changed, kind of tamped and diluted the way they were doing it. So they they made
When was that book written that you shared, Hassan?
What year?
Yeah.
The Vice Concise Trustee Handbook, I think there's a 2006 version, a 2007, a 2008, and a 2009.
All
There's a
right.
few
And Bobby,
versions.
that one that you mentioned, when was that written?
I can't think of off the top of my head. It's Daniel's negotiable instruments, but if this is a more recent, obviously it's more recent than one I spoke of, but that was the general census of Daniel's. So what he's saying is that would be more up to date of what is acceptable and a vague rules or boundaries to go by when you do negotiable
The
instruments.
principles are the same. That's what I was just adding to, but go ahead.
Right. And today's principles in 2006, in concurrence with the Electronic Record Act, 2006 also allows for the negotiable instruments. Legal tender, Federal Reserve notes are no longer required as legal tender because they're merely promissory notes. So
Correct.
today's legal tender is negotiable instruments. That means every paper that you have negotiations on in regards to a judicial matter is a negotiable instrument.
True. And you shouldn't have to be a legal entity or have a legal pass to negotiate those. It doesn't stand, that doesn't stand legal or logical reason, as you say, Keith. That I mean, I'm a man, and if I've got paper in my hand, I should be able to negotiate that paper any way I want.
Yep. And it's called dispelling the myths.
And so when they deny you, that's when you sue their ass.
Yep. Public accommodation. This is what I mentioned earlier. Public accommodation. When it comes to the welfare system, even the illegal aliens, they are required to provide for.
Yeah. So
Now
when
ask yourself, why are they denying
the trade?
Why are they denying Americans where we have homeless people, homeless
Yes.
veterans?
Yes, it is a discrimination of trade, is what you said, McGrail, because if I give paper, I've just gifted and volunteered something that they can do whatever they want with it and religiously convert whatever they want, as long as they serve the people and I get the production that I just fucking asked for.
Right.
Right. It's discrimination based on nationality.
It's restricted trade though.
Yep.
It's-
Well,
it's,
that's what
it's a-
discrimination is.
It's a
It's based on a
discrimination. It's a discrimination based on legal status.
Right.
It is not necessarily based on nationality, but it absolutely
Well, that's what your
is
legal
based
status is determined by. Is your
on legal
nationality.
status.
Okay, that's good.
Well,
Let's-
here's the thing. This is my whole thing about the status. If I'm not registered as one of your agents, I'm not one of your agents.
Okay,
I don't
so
have to
what-
tell you whose else's agent I am.
Correct.
I
And
don't have
you
to
don't
tell
have to
you
take
if
upon a
whether or
status.
not even another agent, because your only concern as a United States agent or officer is to identify your agents and officers. So as long as we're clear that I'm not one of those, what I actually am is none of your fucking business.
So here's the
Right.
problem. Here's the
So
problem.
when you want to come up and ask me a question, I'm going to tell you, you need to go ask a banker. They're the tellers.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to you wanting to purchase things,
I don't want to
and
purchase things because I'm
excuse
not a
me, not excuse me.
purchaser. Because the
Well, when it
definition
comes
of
to you
purchase is
wanting
to
to,
buy or lease a business opportunity.
so when it comes to you claiming things,
Right.
you're gonna go into Tesla, forget all of this paperwork, and just say that one right there.
Here's the
Technically,
problem.
that's how I'm gonna still say it in paper. I'm still gonna say it on
Yeah, you
paper.
gotta
If you guys
say
want
it
to
in
know
paper.
the paper that I'm gonna
You gotta
use,
say it in paper.
take the class that Rima also took, which is how come she's extrapolated into this. Take
What's
the
the
main
class?
class.
I
Money,
see. So
money
so
talk.
you take that.
Money
So
talk?
once
Okay.
you take that in with that so I, and listening to everything is just like once you take that in, then they tell then I'm gonna sue you.
Very first things that she said was I know this is not, what did you say? Something to the effect like, I know this is like extra or more than what you're talking about in the class or something to that effect. And I was just like, it's okay. I'm okay with whatever
Fuck
people
around and finding out.
fuck around and find out. That's all. Because one of the reasons, like I said in the beginning, she might feel like it's taking so long is because we are pioneering this, right?
Right.
But you guys will get the foundation. I even have the like initial the example of us making an order before I got ill last year. And then similar to the issues that Rima was having, everything was changing over because I sent it late 2020 when the government administration was changing over. Right.
And
That's a
when
very
all them
valid point
suckers,
that you make
like
there.
it's like all the people that retired, all the motherfuckers.
Yes, a lot of people were retiring.
because of
Yep.
this bullshit.
That's right. And so the problem she was explaining in the beginning, that was literally
Yeah.
happening to all of us. So by the time people got around, like, all right, I'm going to try this. This is what we were dealing with. And she was still tenacious. I suggest everybody go to that classroom, pull up the document we created. And when you pull up the trust indenture, and you will see the similarities of the document. You will see whether you want to use, modify it to be what's sent to the trust indenture, named in the trust indenture that the company has. Okay, you're gonna know, and you're gonna look at the SEC, and you're gonna know if you're gonna use that one or if you're gonna use the one that we created outside of their application. It also, I showed the Ford purchase agreement that we created, and it's based on the principles of a promissory note. So what we have in the classroom, if you guys can go get in there, the Money Talk classroom, it's in the files folder section, you will see that it's created on the principles, actually it's created on the principles of a bill of exchange. And what is said to be included in the package is the purchase agreement. But you can modify that bill of exchange or add another document if you want to call it a notice or whatever. And you'll see why these are the foundations of what she's done.
I don't see why you can do it normally, right? With the social, express the trust, and then endorse the credit app, force them to print it off, endorse the credit app, and endorse the financial back to the bank too.
Well, I think the problem is because the same thing.
Yeah, 'cause-
Hold on a second. The problem is the thing's going to happen that's happening now. She's still a year and a half involved with it because she put the enumeration on the paper and they're still trying to figure out who's got the authority to apply the trusteeship of that enumeration to a particular decedent will and give her what she wants. If you try to express the trust without being a fiduciary or a trustee or a co-trustee of expressing that trust, the same thing's going to happen.
Maybe. I heard you right.
If Rima
So
is
what's
still
happening
on
with the
here,
land, Rima? What happened with the land that you
Yes,
said?
tell us
that
about
you
the
had
land,
talked
Rima,
about?
and then we're gonna wrap up, guys.
Don't forget the special surprise. You told us not to let you forget.
Thank you, darling.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're breaking up, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's really tripping and stuff. So, I don't know why. Okay, so I The anybody
Digital water. Digital water.
Oh man, it's breaking up so bad.
Well, I've got some comments from Messenger, if you don't mind. I'll go ahead and post those. I believe there's some in regards to the land. Let me look it up real quick. Says, oh, and me, my mom, and dad all received our land grant from Georgia State Archives and have put a legal ad in the newspaper. All of our land grants cover 202.5 acres.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I wanted her to share a little bit about that. But so if she's not on, I guess hopefully she can come back on another time and share that. So
Wow.
I know it's pretty amazing stuff. Like
That's
I mentioned
epic.
to you guys, when I was not well, that as soon as I got well again, I was gonna go at it. I want to show y'all one other thing because I did restart the process as I promised. Because I don't want nobody to be able to call me on my shit. So I'm a proactive motherfucker. So Charles, did you look at what I sent you?
Shit. Maybe I briefed over it.
It's the one page. Shush now.
Then I looked at the wrong one.
No, you look. This is the email I sent Charles. Oh wait, no, this is not the email. This is. I forwarded you the one page. Did I not?
What
Oh
was
shoot,
there
I
though?
don't think I forwarded it to you. All right, so let me just show you guys what Ford sent me.
Oh yeah, it was upside down too.
It was upside down, right?
Upside down, inside out, backward. You took the words out of my mouth. You start singing. Upside down.
So this is gonna be the last thing I show y'all, then we're gonna get out of here. I think this might be it. Yes, okay. So I'm still gonna open it upside down because I want y'all to show me. I want to show y'all how they sent it to me. Okay. So this is the purchase order that we just did last month. You see, it has the day. I know it's upside down, but don't make it a big deal. See, it says 12/14/2022 right there. They tell you the car. It says it's the preview order. They give it a number. Let me stop being shitty and actually just show it to you guys. In my
Understand? I just turned my iPad around like fuck.
I'm on a laptop.
Yes,
Me
flip
too.
your
I
whole
just
shit.
turned it right around. I'm finna
Oh,
see this.
I just went ahead and stood on my head. It's okay.
that.
Okay, guys, there we
Sorry,
go.
man. I think I'm
Oh shit, it's still actually upside down, but I'm gonna
sorry.
rotate it. I'm gonna rotate it. It saved it upside down. It's so stupid. All right, so here it is, guys. Can y'all see it now?
No. I'm
Okay,
still
so
looking
let me
at
stop share and reshare because that's funny as hell. Y'all so silly.
fuck it. By any
All right.
means necessary.
I appreciate you guys hanging with us. This is awesome. So let's make it make it a little bigger.
Keep
Ah shit, it
wild.
says it's 200%. Anyway,
That is funny.
y'all are too much. All right.
Hey,
So y'all see
hey,
here it says
Malika.
12/14/2022. So 3 weeks ago. They tell you, what you're ordering or whatever. But you see, this is around the square. This is like around the box. Here's my problem with this document. And I know everybody's gonna be nosy. They're gonna want to look at all this stuff here, right? But here's where I came to. You see where it says here on the bottom right, 2 of 2? So what y'all think I
First
did?
page.
When they sent this
Where's
to me,
page one?
Yeah.
that's why I keep us laughing.
First thing on the page was 2 of 2. I was like, oh yeah, there you go.
Text. I want to show y'all this text. I'm going to actually upload it. I'm going to upload the text, but I'm going to tell y'all what it said.
That's
I
a
was like,
perfect
all right.
example of why I tell everybody when you see shit, think about it being backwards and upside down. I
And they
guarantee
sent
you,
it to
you
me
will
backwards and
eventually get it.
upside down. So the first thing I saw was 2 of 2. So I didn't even flip this around before I sent them a message saying, I got a document. It says 2 of 2. Where is the first page? Do you guess what the dummy told me?
What, Malika?
We shredded it. We destroyed it.
Oh,
I made a mistake.
I printed 2 separate documents.
Stupid.
Now, anybody, any age, over the age of 5, that's ever printed 2 or 3 separate things, when does it ever count them all as one document?
Never.
I think never.
It doesn't.
Think this smells like, what y'all think it smell
Bull.
like?
A pot of bullshit.
Shit.
Sounds like an omission.
Sounds like an omission, right? So what I did was, after he says that BS lie, I waited a few days and I sent him back a message saying, let me see if I could, here it goes. So I'm glad I pulled it up. See his name? This is him. Please review and sign. Do you guys see what he says here?
Hold
It's
on.
a
We're still
copy
looking at
of
the-
your.
We
It's-
don't. We
we're
don't
still
see what you see. We don't see what you
Look at
see.
the
Oh, y'all
PO.
can't see what I see? Okay, cool. So let me just
No.
stop sharing. I'm gonna show y'all what the email. Back to the email where he sent it upside down. You see his name?
Hold on. It's okay.
So everybody can't say
Donald Ballou.
Malika's talking bullshit.
Let me see your email now.
Okay, so you see what he says right here? With a copy of your business license. I have a problem with that. So here's what I sent him back. You see how long I waited? He sent this on the 10th. I waited 10 days just to give his ass something to think about, because in between these days, we're talking through text, email. So you see what I sent him?
Can I get a new copy that reflects it is one page of one page then? Also, I do not intend to use this as business/corporate motor vehicle, so I will not provide the business license. I hope this dealer does discriminate against
I should say
non-drivers. or
does not
Okay, does not.
discriminate against non-drivers.
Non-drivers. What did Donald say?
Nothing. This is me sending it to Charles.
Wow. Fucking wow. So
Malika?
now Arena's
Oh.
back.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to show y'all.
So Donald is being sounds like he is hold on.
So
Is Donald an attorney?
No, Donald is at the dealership. You see? This is the dealership, Corwin Auto.
Okay, so why is he requiring statutory specific performance?
Because that's what he been trying to do. He's just doing his job.
He's not doing his job. He's doing the attorney's job.
But then the attorney can't even ask for statutory specific
Exactly.
performance
But he
either.
don't know that. So the attorney
Wow.
attorney got him doing it. I
No,
want
the
to show
whole
y'all
scheme.
something else. I
That's
want to
the
show
whole
y'all
scheme.
something else.
It's a credit default swap. The whole process. That's all you're doing. You remember they talked about reinsurance earlier? That's what credit default is. It's a reinsurance.
I want y'all to see this right here
Wow.
too. Y'all see this right here?
Looking, just won another Rule 12 hearing today. I'll share results when judge issues order.
Awesome.
Do you guys see that? Rule 12 is the
Mhm.
motion to show authority for the attorneys
Is
filed
that put on the record?
in the court case. In
the
it.
court?
Okay?
Where are you reading from, Malika? We see Carl Colcutt
Nah,
on
I
here.
just showed y'all my messages right here.
Yeah,
Right here. Do you guys see this?
yeah.
Let me highlight
that's
it
one.
again. Bottom right.
Yeah, I see it.
Let me move this over so I can block off some of this so y'all don't get distracted. Just won another Rule 12 hearing today. The Rule 12 hearing in Texas, the motion to show authority for the attorneys is called Rule 12. They actually wrote it in the rules of civil procedure. It's also written into the rules of civil procedure in California and
It
at
is
least
so
one
pretty,
other
too.
state. Okay? This is taking out their whole case, even if the case remains open forever. Who's going to come and be like, oh, the bank granted me authority to take your shit?
Wow, you got that an hour and 13 minutes before class started.
That's right. That's why I was late. Here's another reason
Wow.
why I was late. Because it's called Rule 12 in Texas. It's called different rules and different things in other sections, but it does exist, which is why we hammer it so hard. But I couldn't take a screenshot of this, so I'm just gonna show you guys it in the messages. because it's kind of big and I'm not sure. So I told her to copy and paste this, or at least I started to, and then I was late. And I was late to class because I was just seeing John's thing, and then y'all already see it starts off winning. Okay, let's go back to the top. Okay, y'all already see. This is what I wanted to show y'all before I wrap up. One of the attorneys, Caroline, I guess Jason's bitch ass was too scared to call. Even though Jason is the lead counsel, he sent a peon to make the phone call. Okay?
Caroline.
Right. Right. So they call to say they're going to. When the hell does the attorney ever call us? That's the first thing that's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
They must be scared. So they don't be calling.
That's when.
Okay, attorney just called saying they're going to put in a motion to quash her motion to show authority. Look, this is Keith. Keith, you reading it? With a motion for a protective order that they don't have to answer my request for admissions and interrogatories. Anybody remember Rule 27?
Sanction.
Get an order to not answer interrogatories, dummy. That's right. Right? They want to have a protection order. Here's what's funny. They brought the case. She's the defendant.
They're harassing my harassment.
How you gonna bring the case and then ask for a protective order?
But Judge, I'm the harasser. They're not the harasser. I'm the harasser.
They're not supposed to be harassing me. I'm supposed to be harassing them. They're not supposed to be kicking my ass.
I'm the fucker, not the
I'm
fucker.
the fucker, not the
They
fuck.
want sanctuary.
Okay. Do you see how she's enjoying this? They don't have to answer my admissions and interrogatories from my notice of liability. It gets better, guys. She didn't even put it on the case.
So she
I
did it
didn't
private.
file it. She didn't even file it. This is the regular notice to show authority, not in the
Bitching about a
case.
notice.
They
Just
want to
about
file a
notice.
protection order in the case for something that's not in the case.
Guess what? That's exactly what happened.
The record doesn't reflect.
Well, now listen, what they're saying here is the record doesn't have to reflect. They know it. How do they
They're
prove it's
proving
not on
they're
the record?
aware.
Wow.
You see what she says? But I didn't file that into the case. It's a separate
Everything they
issue.
do is evidence, guys.
You know what's biting them in their ass, right? The good faith is biting them in their ass.
That's right.
Because they have notice.
Yeah.
They can't say, well, we're just continuing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can.
Malika, before you go then, when you finish this, can you please bring up the motu proprio and just read that quick, like, couple of lines then?
The motion for what?
The motu proprio to show how, like, it's an end game, because everything in class today goes along with that. And I really think if you showed the motu proprio from 11th July 2013, it's a fucking rat. If not, I can set my
If you
screen
said to put
and
the
share
link
it
in
once
there,
you're
because I
done.
don't think I know what a moro to proprio or whatever.
No
I'm not
problem.
even
What I'll
saying
do
it
is,
right.
look, I'm gonna go to the Telegram and bring it up in the document that I have uploaded, and then just give me the screen share once you're done this. And
Okay,
it won't, I
cool.
promise it won't be long.
All right.
Also, Malika, can you please explain exactly where the document from the brother Charles is? I looked up in Lawful Living. I don't see it anywhere.
I don't know. You might have to look for hashtags. I don't know who said it was on Lawful Living, but I copied pasted from the Facebook group.
So it's on Lawful Living. Just put his name up there and then just search his post from like a
Correct.
year ago.
Damn, you didn't put any hashtags there, guys? When you find
Nope,
this post,
I just put his name and then I looked at all of his posts.
I understand, but once you found the post or find the post, please put some hashtags, and then we can just paste the hashtags to people, and then they can find it like that.
Yeah,
And so
okay.
a good hashtag would be something like disqualified judge, judge disqualification, 28 USC 455, things like that.
Homie the clown.
Hashtag shit's McReal in here. That's another one.
Shit's McReal in here.
Homie the clown.
Somebody said post 4991. That I would find it under that name.
Okay,
Post
so
4991.
if you're on the .com and you type in POSTS/ and the post number, it will also come up like that. Okay. So let's continue. So
Malika,
yes.
I just have a few more minutes because I have state class at 7 o'clock. So
Okay, darling. Oh
Yeah.
shit, did you get cut off again?
I'm here.
Okay, cool.
So, about the land grant.
Yes.
Okay. So, just so through my research, I realized I did my meets and bounds, and I know that I know some people were a lot of people say make sure that you know your township and stuff. Well, I was busting my head against the wall because I finally found out Georgia does not do township and range. So if there's anybody else here that lives in Georgia, don't worry about finding the township and range, okay? And for anybody else that is in a state that does township and range, I mean, you can Google find township and range and put in your address, and they'll do it for you. The website will find it for you. But Georgia is one of the 13 colonies, so they never ceded their land as a public land state. So the Bureau of Land Management does not hold the land records for Georgia. Georgia holds its own land records. So
Awesome.
it is, so it's in Clayton County for anybody who lives in Georgia. Then you go to the Georgia State Archives, and literally all you give them is your address. And they'll show you, they'll help you out from there. And they'll pull the land grant. They'll pull the land grant for you. You also want to get the plat map because all they'll give you is the actual land grant. So actually, I did contact the Bureau of Land Management, and somebody called me back, and they gave me a quick history lesson, and they were saying that they were telling me about 13 colonies and all that other stuff, and if your land patent is issued from the Bureau of Land Management, that's why it's called a land patent, because it's federal. But if it is from the state, if you get it from the state, that's why it's a land grant. So, I ordered 2 certified copies of the land grant, and now what I'm doing is I purchased my dad, and I gave it to them for Christmas, and our legal notices, our legal ads are now in the newspaper as of today. It's in the newspaper for 60 days, and then we'll we'll go to the Secretary of the State told us that they'll authenticate it, but we need to go, they'll authenticate the affidavit and stuff, but we need to go to the courthouse to get the notary, and then go to the sheriff's department and get the notary, and then bring it to the Secretary of the State for them to notarize. And then we can go file it on the record. And I guess the question that I have is
on which record is the end result supposed to be filed on?
File a recording in the county.
Why not just send the county a notice?
Well, that's effectively what she's doing, is just placing a note on the record. It's not being filed. It's just being put on a record.
I was about to say, I'm not filing all
It's
my
like a
shit with them. I'll
miscellaneous
send you a record send you a notice so that when anybody tries to pull up this address, it say don't looky here, dummy.
Right. And that's what you would refer to as that record, because it's not going to be a filing. So you would refer specifically to the record by its record number.
Right. You're not actually putting the certified land grant on the record.
Right.
Okay, great. Because I was about to say, why the hell you did all that and then you just put it back on the record?
So yeah, I also because I know Ron Gibson is like an expert at this stuff and stuff like that, and I know he usually just talks about claiming the land that your house is on. Oh, but the land grant your land grant can cover like 200 acres. It could cover 400. It could cover whatever acres it covers. So I'm like, well, why would you cover just the land that the house sits on? When to me it seems like you could cover.
They're probably talking about people who think that they just own the 0.10 acres or whatever that is around their house, and that's why when we show pictures of our land and people say, "Is that your backyard?" And I'm like, "How do you have a backyard on acres? Like, is it the front yard? Is it the side yard?"
Yeah,
They're probably thinking
so
about people who think of their property in a yard because they live in those little, you know,
oh,
My dwelling happens to be on the southwest corner of the lot.
right. Ours is
okay, gotcha.
our little cabinet is directly in the middle, but that would mean we have 20 acres this way and 20, that's ridiculous. That's not your
Yeah.
side yard or your backyard.
My oasis is in their mirage.
Right, exactly. My oasis is in their mirage. I love it.
Because
But
even the
flat.
plat map, when, 'cause I'm thinking that the plat map is actually for the land grant is actually gonna look like the plat map for my neighborhood from the county, right? So I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is great. And then when I get it, I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Because it's literally, if you can imagine, it's from the 1800s, but it's like a square that says number 34, which is the lot, and then it just
Yep.
says 202.5 acres.
Yep.
Now I got to go to the county to convert it into 2023, right? So I got to go and work backwards to find out what this 202.5 acres actually covers. So, and what's really interesting is that
So what
what,
happens if there's is there any other people living in that 202.5 acre square
yeah,
currently?
yes,
What
my
are you gonna
neighbors
do
and
with
stuff,
those folks?
they can stay in their home.
Oh,
By your grant?
Yeah, they can stay in their home.
So
Now, yeah,
they're surety for you.
huh?
So there's surety for you then, right?
Yes. So this is so this is so when I guess go to the tax assessor and be like, hey, I got the land grant, take me off the tax roll because I don't need to be here in the first place. So with that too, so huh?
You can't tell me what to do with my dog. I just told you I put him there. He don't
okay.
have
Can
to. He's
somebody
old.
mute?
He don't have to run up there. He can get up there or not get up there. I'll put him up there. Dude.
You tell them, girl.
It's a service
I know,
dog.
right?
Tell 'em.
I mean, actually, she's expressing the land patent just by talking about the dog being on and off the shoulder.
Somebody said you can only claim your section of the whole.
I don't know how that works. I don't know
Rita
how that
just told you what she did, so what's somebody else talking about?
Because the land grant is the purchase, right? So if the land grant is the purchase, is the true purchase, and in the land grant it says, hey, it's 202 acres, then
Nobody else is gonna have better title.
Exactly. So you can claim the whole thing. See, if there's no other superior claim, you can claim what is whole.
right, especially
Wow.
if you especially if you put it in the newspaper and nobody has come to claim it within that 60 days.
Oh, you're doing it for 60 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds like pirate and booty.
Huh?
That's
I
what
didn't
that-
hear that part.
That's
You
what
said
that
it's like
notice in the-
pirating booty.
And that's
Look
what-
around, nobody else is claiming it, then you just huff it.
I go together. We go together.
We go together now.
That's what the notice in the paper is all about. It's proving the chain of title has been cleaned.
Oh.
Everybody
Yeah,
has to
so-
know though that this process is not necessary to remove your house from the county records. The only thing
No,
that's
it's not.
necessary to remove your house from the county records is proof that it was never eligible to be on the county records in the first place because their records are for corporate use property.
Yes, that is
Corporate
true.
ownership property, more succinctly, because it doesn't matter how it's used, whether it's so-called residential or in the production or manufacturing or storage or whatever of goods and chattel. It just absolutely has to have goods and chattel going on in order for it to be eligible to be listed on a county. So if your property is not for manufacturing and all this other stuff for commercial use, including the commercial use called residential, then it doesn't belong on the property records, and that's the grounds to stand on for that.
And how you can remember that? Just think about the 3 acronyms: CIA, commercial, industrial, and agriculture.
Yes.
No business
Mhm.
opportunities here.
Correct.
And somebody said quit claim deeds are an option. I actually would do a quit claim deed. I have a grant deed that I'm doing. And actually, Keith helped me with that as well. He helped me go over that. So because I have a limited warranty deed recorded on the
Turn
county record.
turn your mouth back to your mic.
Turn the mouth back to my.
Okay, he's good now.
Okay. So, when I bought my house, when I bought it 11 years ago, I did there was a limited warranty deed. So that's a color title. So what I found out is watered down grant deed because the warranty deed only gives you like the topsoil while the
And
grant deed
again, you
gives you.
guys have to remember, and Rima, I know I'm interrupting you, but I must say,
No, it's fine.
it has to be that way because corporations cannot actually own the land. And I just want to say this to everybody: a deed is a commercial land use instrument. That is exactly why it says it limits your interest to what's above the land because corporations can't own the land.
Sure.
Right,
So
and it's also reference to that conservation easement in rights of passage and portage.
Right.
all-
It's again still only corporate access
Right.
to the building on the land or corporate access to the land or around the perimeter or near the perimeter so that if they wish to communicate with you, they can come and go, hey neighbor, do you see me over here waving you down? That's it.
And again, it would be for trade or business, which is performance of functions of public office.
Correct.
yes, and that would go
Yeah.
to the CIA, I think Trinity just mentioned, of the commercial, industrial, or agriculture, of the CIF, the CIF, and that's the cost, insurance, freight of all 3 of those other things. So if you want to be a computer, and the computer is, you'd have to go to that, see what I mean, and you want to be a tablature of those things, you have to know what the SIF is of all 3 of those things per which one you're applying.
Yeah. And that's why you're going to find that you don't need a deed or a land patent to be a steward of land.
I didn't.
Correct.
And you definitely don't need it to defend against the service corporation
I didn't.
calling themselves government that can only have an interest in land in use for their own business.
I'm living
And the
proof.
greatest land patent there is, again, Leviticus 25, verse 23.
Word.
And you can look into when they're trying to take your property and stuff now, guys. Ask them for their asset identifier number.
Okay, wait, before you go on, I just want to thank Rima.
Oh.
I know she's on her way to class or going to class or maybe even just
Yes.
jumped off. But thank you, Charles, and thank you, Rima, for coming on and sharing today. You
Oh,
made it
you're welcome.
amazing. You
And
made
can you
it
give me the
You're
screen
welcome
share to
so
add
much.
to the record, Malika?
Okay, hold on. Let me finish reading Megan's thing, and
I
then I'm
yield.
gonna do this. Let me do the screen share now while I remember the multiple screen share. All right. So thank you, guys. I'm glad she interrupted me so she could fit that in. So we're gonna finish reading the rest of Megan's thing, and then we're gonna go on because this is the thing I want to show you guys. They're out of court. So even though Charles said we bumping heads, we're not really bumping heads because I'm with the out of court shit. Because this is showing everybody that even though it was done out of court, it's still winning. Right? She's a defendant, and that's why I clarified after Charles said that. It's not like I'm actually against anything that he's saying. It's the application. When you're the defendant, she did it out of court. Like I mentioned in my post, I'm speaking from those who are coming from the plaintiff side. And when you're coming from the plaintiff side, I recommend, although you can still do it out of court, I recommend doing it in your court. Okay? So she's a defendant here. All right? So they say they're going to make the protection order. She says, I did not file it in the case. That's a separate issue. Attorney says, Caroline, sweet Caroline, says, oh, I see. You're right. Okay, well, we're still going to file. We're still going to be filing. We're still going to be filing that into the case. And I need to know if you oppose or if you're undecided. She replies, okay, sure. It's a free country. You're welcome to do what you want. But I don't see how that's relevant at all. And I am opposed And I don't see how a protective order in this case is going to protect you from a federal lawsuit. Sweet Caroline says, I understand your position. Is that something you plan on doing? Of course, she replies, I don't know, maybe, depends on how much further y'all want to take this. Fuck
Hashtag fuck
around and find out. All right. Okay, Miss Kate, thank you for letting me know. Voice shaking the entire time. Poor thing. She don't want to start of her career is simultaneously the end. Oh, the bank needs protection? Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
The bank
Okay.
needs condoms. Anyway.
That's what I wanted to show you guys. That's the end of my presentation. I'm actually going to stop the video now.